Here we go. Welcome to episode 8 of the OurTeam podcast. Back with another week, back with another goated lineup. I will say straight off the bat, if you're here for Kevin Cruz, unfortunately he can't be here. He's had a typhoon hit his area in the Philippines. His power's out, his internet's out. Obviously, we wish him well. We hope him and his family and his community are safe. But unfortunately, he can't make the podcast this week, and he will be back on soon. But we do have 4 legends on the podcast this week. Let's kick things off with Josh. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just, coming back from celebrating my birthday yesterday. So, it's a pretty good week.
Oh, you were low. I just said you were low energy. I just realized you're hanging, didn't you? So unprofessional. That is exactly what's happening. Ludes, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Shout out to Kevin Cruz, man. Being that I live in the Midwest in the U.S., I've never been hit by a typhoon. I have to assume it's not chill. So I hope he's doing good, but I'm all right.
Yeah, for sure. Wildmont, welcome back, bro.
How y'all doing, bro? Y'all doing good? How y'all day going?
Yeah,
Nice.
you figured it out this time. Last time it took you like 10 seconds to respond to the intro.
I did because I had muted the thing and I was like, hey, how do I unmute this? Bro, I'm a boomer when it comes to technology. Like I be highly confused every single time. Like it took me 4 weeks to figure out how to put the GIFs on Streamlabs. Like I be going through it.
Boomer's crazy to a 38-year-old. How you doing, Matt? Welcome to the podcast.
Man, it's grateful to be here, man. First podcast, man. I'm feeling really, really, really happy, man. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm excited just to be amongst all these GOATs. And shout out to Kevin Cruz as well. For sure, man. Yeah, we're happy you're here. Guys, I don't usually make this podcast about me, but for the first 2 minutes, I'm going to make it about me. That's how it's going to go. Obviously, I had some news this week. I got hit up by 2K a couple of weeks ago. I want to give you a brief outline of this kind of trajectory, where it's going, all of that stuff. So I was hit up by 2K a couple of weeks ago. Someone at 2K said they watched the podcast, which is awesome. They reached out to me. We had a couple of meetings. In the end, I became an X-Maker, which is incredible. Something I'm really, really proud of. And there's going to be more, guys. That's like the first step of this kind of relationship between OurTeam and 2K. It's going to extend. I won't say anything now in case it doesn't come through. You never know, right? But it's going to be an exciting couple of weeks. The first thing, guys, is I need to say thank you to all of you, everyone who's watching this premiere right now, every guest that's been on the podcast, my Ep8 co-host, the guys at 2K. A big thank you. I'm a small creator that wanted to do this for fun, and the podcast has transcended, what anything I thought it would ever be. So I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to all of you guys. Right, let's move on to this week. It's been the most interesting week I think we've seen on MyTeam Twitter for as long as I can remember. It might have been the most interesting week. I'm going to start with the moments stuff. Let's kick the conversation off there. I'm going to try and keep this on the timeline because it's been such a weird week.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people have been staring at Twitter kind of baffled, and we're just going to dissect it, look at what happened. But it started with moments. That's where the craziness started. It started with the initial moments drop, which was for a Hall of Fame badge, and it kind of broke the community. Ludes, you want to kick us off on this one?
Yeah, considering I kicked off on Twitter already about this, sure, why not, man? First off, the minute-long portion where Jazz talked about the future of the podcast, get used to that, because that's where the Blue Apron ad, that we're going to get eventually is going to go, that I will be reading personally, or Blue Chew, whatever hits us up, whatever colored product hits us up first.
You gotta go get the VPN ad.
Yeah.
NordVPN.
NordVPN's the other one.
Raid Shadow Legends incoming.
Oh, God, no. No. Oh, so no, the moment stuff, I kicked off on Twitter about it because I don't know, maybe I misread the blog, but it sounded like we were getting moments cards and they were going to come in grinds. So when we got the initial moments grind for a Hoff badge, I was not stoked personally because I'll be honest, I don't care about Hoff badges at all. Like, I do not care. I know that is a controversial opinion, but I personally am not someone who really freaks out about Hoff badges. Like, I don't care. Badges end up sitting in my collection for the entire year. I barely even remember to use them. So I was like, nah, I want like a Sapphire or a Vaca Zubac, dude. Like, I don't care about the Hoff badges. I just want to grind for like random cards. And the community, I thought, was going to probably agree with me. I was very incorrect in that assumption. Instead, infighting began throughout the entirety of the MyTeam kingdoms on Twitter. over if this was a good thing, a bad thing, or if we just needed more stuff in it. As I said, all we needed was just a few moments cards sprinkled in there, and then we're good. Like, it's perfect. Also, I needed them to drop it from All-Star to Pro, because All-Star is just genuinely not fun to play on, and Pro is kind of fun to play on, which they ended up doing. So all said and done, I think they handled it fine. Like, I would have liked to see a couple more moments cards, but Brunson's cool, and dropping it from All-Star to Pro is perfect. So I have no issue now. That's just me.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to create a bit of separation here, right? Because it was like the reaction was actually nuts. Like, over one issue, the reaction was so strong to the point where people were getting blocked, people were throwing shade. Like, it was kind of nuts. One thing I do want to do is separate credit from, a lack of credit, right? Or people trying to claim credit for things. One thing that I know for a fact is Ludes complaining about the All-Star difficulty on those challenges 100% led to them being reduced, right?
Yeah.
DFS picked it up, he ran with it. There's an easy trail to follow to that getting to 2K, and then, they're making a change. The interesting thing about the moments cards is I don't know if anyone actually impacted it or whether it was something that was going to happen anyway, because moments cards were in the game. They're in the glossary, so they were going to happen. It's very possible that they just speeded up the timeline or whatever by kicking up a fuss. But if moments cards were going to happen anyway, why did we suddenly need them in this 24-hour period to the point where we started a civil war on Twitter? I don't understand it.
Because it's 2K. That's what they do. It just happens like that sometimes. Like,
people read the blog how they want the blog to translate. So if it doesn't work exactly the way I'm guilty of this all the time. If it doesn't work the exact way that I think it should be working, I'm going to complain about it, as my comment sections like to remind me all the time on every YouTube video that I put up. I am number one 2K complainer. Number two, DBG is number one, apparently. But take this for one day. But yeah, I just feel like people were upset because I think, as we talked about in the last podcast, like, moments were the thing that was going to make this season that was kind of like on the, I don't know, barren side as far as content, a lot better. So I think people were upset when we got that moments challenge and it was just a Hoff badge, because there's no cards to grind for anymore at that point. And then people who were upset at other people being upset as well, because those people just exist. I don't know if they're trying to get Twitter clicks or what's going on, but I just don't understand why people get so upset at other people getting upset, because it makes you look upset too. Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like, it's becoming to where MyTeam, where it's like two specific type of like sections, at least on Twitter, where you have the I don't want to call them ultra sweats because I don't want to make anybody angry, but you have like the like, I want to say the sweats. The sweats. Those are the dudes who they're logging on every single day. They're grinding 3 to 4 hours. They're playing consistently. And then you have the, I don't even want to say casual, because I don't think it's not casual not to want to play the game for 4 hours a day. I want to say like normal players where it's like, hey, maybe we can get a little bit more. So I feel like there's a lot of that this year, more than any other year I've actually seen. And it kind of just comes back to the trophy cases. Like, I think everything leads back to that one thing for some reason, where people kind of just, like, you have people like me who miss the specific grinds for cards, and then you have people who just love the trophy cases because they have something to do every single day, and neither side is wrong at that.
Yeah. Josh, you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake. Honestly,
gone.
like, the whole moments thing, I wasn't really, like I said, a lot of times when it's Twitter drama, I don't follow it because honestly, it's like I see the same thing down my timeline all the time. So when there was stuff was going on, honestly, I was really scrolling past it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I left it up to you guys to find out what was going on. That's how
I pull up like MyTeam TMZ, dude. I don't care.
I really just don't follow at all. Like, so to me, the moments wasn't a problem. I'm probably gonna do those challenges probably like the end of the season. I got literally nothing else to do, and I want to make some quick MT to start the season. I don't really have an issue with it.
I found out because people were like, because if you know how Twitter algorithm works, you'll see other people tweet who don't even follow. Yeah. So I just saw people subtweeting DBG, and I was like, "What did he say?" And I was like, "What did he say?" So I went and looked at his video, and I was like, "This isn't even that bad. He's actually right." But you just have those two subsets of communities where it's like everybody's now just
I
becoming angry.
I didn't even catch the rant video. I didn't like. What was he basically saying? Like, what was he ranting about?
His problem is that 2K has like, from a content creator standpoint, this year has been hard, particularly for casual players to get into the mode because everything is built around you having to grind so much. So his issue is that he wanted those smaller grinds, he wanted those moments, he wanted those type of things, and I guess like a part of that, his video was the fact that he was like, "Oh, trophy cases are kind of ruining the mode," which
I don't think so.
They're not ruining it, but they are a issue for a certain subset of the community because the whole core game mode being based around that one thing is a problem because everybody's not going to be able to get that. So that was really what his video was. But within that, him being DBG, people organically just don't like him.
Right.
Like I have no like, I think he's cool, but a lot of people just don't like
Sweats
him.
don't like DBG.
They don't
honestly,
like him.
Just facts.
I don't agree with that though. Because like how I see it is like trophy cases being like the core of my team. I feel like at the end of the day, like you got to hold the community accountable because it's like people will sit there and complain like, "Oh, this game was so pay to win, blah blah blah." But when actually this year you grind the game, you 9 times out of 10 you're gonna have a better team than somebody who just would try to buy auctionable cards. So it's like 2K is kind of like in this weird position where it's like they're torn. It's like, okay, for years everyone's saying pay to win, pay to win. Now we're gonna give the grinders a step up, and it's like we're getting that, and now it's like it's driving away the casual. So it's like I'm not gonna say I feel bad for them, but like I could kind of see how we both play a role. Like the community itself, definitely we got to find a way to like stand on the same side because it's too much division within this community that creates a lot of conflict within the gameplay, within the content. So I think that's the first step we need to take to change that whole mindset. Because like I said, personally, I don't think trophy cases being the core of my team is a bad thing because previous years everyone was saying pay to win, and it's like that's not the case this year.
In itself,
yeah, my team is entirely free. Like right now, my team, I do not have a buyable card in my team, and even when it comes to trophy cases, I've got 6 trophy case cards. 2 of them don't make my squad. My cards built of takeover cards, of which I've grinded none of the Friday ones. Like 3 trophy case cards. I've got Larry Johnson. Like it really ain't that big a deal. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it ain't that big a deal. Skill matters. It does. And this is where I'm like, I know I'm on an island a little bit with what I'm about to say. Because they dropped those requirements yesterday, right? The win streak challenges. And I got them done literally in 1.5 hours. I got a limited TTO, CTO. So I blasted through those and came out the other side. I literally had nine of those things in maybe 2 hours. You know, loaded the game up today, got the final piece, picked up Iggy, and I'm done. That's it. Friday night, I got limited done. I got all the weekend content done. I know that's not the case for everyone, but I hear things like, oh, every squad I load up against has got 3 or 4 trophy case players. They literally gave 2 of them away. Let's be honest. Right. They gave 2 away. Mm-hmm. Right. The token markets and the agendas. So, of course, people are going to have trophy case cards if they played the game. Like, it's just how it is. I think the issue's just been exaggerated. People would look at a squad like mine and go, oh, this guy spends 5 hours a day playing the game, 6 hours a day. I really, really don't. This weekend, I played last night. I have not touched the game today other than the daily login. And now I'll do the podcast. I ate wings, ribs, steak, shrimp. I've had a day out. Like I've been doing my thing today.
Vegans are out the chat now.
No beans.
This is a point. No, not even that. Not even that. I was talking about this on stream the other day. How do you get your wings? You got to get them hot with lemon pepper sprinkle. Come on,
this guy
lemon pepper wet.
I thought you was about to say something about 2K. This guy in the food.
He said wings. Bro, I'm from Atlanta. Wings are.
I get boneless wings though.
I just eat chicken nuggets.
I have to admit, I'm not
boneless.
I have a bit of shame to have had boneless wings. I did.
I like boneless wings.
Blue cheese. Bro, I'm from Atlanta. That's blasphemy down here, dog. We got a wing store on every single corner in this city, dog. I can walk outside. Literally, if I walk outside my house, there's 2 right there across the street. That's
you need to go eat some beans and like them before anyone's going to take your opinion seriously. It's
beans. Beans. The texture's wrong. They taste disgusting. Like somebody sent me a picture of them eating baked beans with eggs yesterday. Why would you do that to me?
That's disgusting.
Shout out to Stoey.
That's disgusting.
Matt,
it was. Now I wanted to, Jazz. I wanted to actually elaborate on what you said, like with the whole exaggeration. That's what the community is known to do. Like we don't even confirm. That's something else I thought about. We don't even confirm things before we like run with it. Somebody will say one thing, and then everyone's posting about it like, yo, can you believe they did this, that, and the third to the game? Like, let's say, all right, somebody notices they're getting more blocks, and probably blocks wasn't even touched. You just learning how to block the ball better. They'd be like, yo, they definitely touch blocks. And then like, if it's like somebody with a huge platform, people will take that and run with it. And that's why I feel like some content creators got to be careful on what they say. But then at the same time, as a community, like, don't just run with everything you hear. Like, literally, they exaggerate everything, like, to the max. And I find that quite annoying.
The issue really comes from in the MyTeam. It feel like it just centers in MyTeam. I mean, maybe it has a lot to do with other card collection modes or just games in general. But it feels like people are in such a race to get content out before anybody else does that nobody checks anything. And you can see this first and foremost on Thursday nights, because instead of waiting for all of the leaks to come out, you'll see 100 videos about every single individual leak just to try to beat everyone else. So what you're saying is 100% accurate, because people don't check anything because they don't have time. They'll see it, immediately go record a video on it, put it out. All of a sudden it's everywhere. You know how many tweets I saw this week about shooting patches that literally did not exist? Like 15.
People are just getting better at the game. Like, that's really what it is. Cards are getting better. I feel like they knew when they dropped the game the first day, they knew how the game is going to be at a certain point. I think they kind of like calculated that. So like, I don't think shooting
is going to get touched. Yeah, it's a power creep. Yeah.
I don't think shooting's going to get touched. I don't think shooting's going to get touched. I feel like
it would have been touched already. I agree.
It definitely would have been touched already. Within like the first few weeks, it would have been touched.
Well,
and
y'all know 2K sends in like a big patch after the 250K. So I won't say it won't get touched. It won't get touched up until that moment, because they do
Mike
every
Wang.
I
know Mike Wang says a lot of things like he's not going to do, but I genuinely feel like this year they're adamant on not changing their game. I feel like
you're right. He took a stance early. He said
I feel like they're genuinely going to stand on what they said. Like, I feel like there's a certain part of the community that they want to cut out from the game, because
I agree.
I think that's what they're trying to do. So I feel like they're gonna stand on like the way the game is. Because honestly, really the only thing I can complain about the gameplay is really just the interior defense. That's the only problem. Yeah. But actually, I'm learning how to adjust. So it may have been I'm just used to playing defense in the paint how I did previous years. Getting bumped out the paint is annoying. But then if you think about it, everyone's first initial reaction is to jump and get the block. Because, it's like you think they're going to go up, but some people wait for you to jump and then go up after. But I feel like Jazz says with the skill thing, if you could properly time like every shot contest, then you should be able to get that stop. And I think more times than not, I'm noticing that, especially with like cards who have the stats for like Lance is like the best defensive interior guard I've had.
Here we go.
Nah, I'm serious. Look, he's the best defensive interior guard I have.
He is. You're
Donovan,
right.
And Donovan Mitchell, he's pretty good interior, like inside. And like I would get stops with Donovan, but the stops you get with Lance is unreal. Like I went at it with a dude yesterday in Unlimited, and I won the game. His John Morant had 50 because he was the only one scoring. But Lance, I think, got him to miss 20 shots out of the 50 he took. So it's like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's definitely a difference. Definitely different.
I want to hear from Matt. Let's get
So let me go ahead and break it down to you in my opinion. All right. So as a person that tries to divert from the drama, it's almost you can't help to not see it. You know what I'm saying? We're in a proverbial civil war, period. I see on a daily basis, not only spaces, not only Reddits, but everything. Everybody talking about that 2K is this, 2K is that, blase. There's so much out there. 2K is dead. I hear it all, not just from the MyTeam side, but on the Park side as well. With that being said, though, I will say this as a content creator, and maybe you agree, maybe not. I feel that with all this, with the reward cases, which I think is a major dub, it's content for us. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm simple with it, but it's content and it's free cards. If you've noticed this year that with most of every reward card that we have, speaking of like Scottie Pippen, he was the best card in the game for however long until AD came out. I mean, these reward cards are a dub. Big Z, although he be slow, he's a turtle. Speed is 40 something. He's still good. Jimmy Buckets, an opal, free. He's still good. So I'm all down for the free stuff. As for the moments and the hot badge and all that, I'm like Ludes, I don't really care for the hot. If I want to grind for a hot badge, later down, that's fine. But as a collector that's trying to get to that 3,500, let me repeat that. I need that card. So those little grinds every week does matter to me because sometimes I won't make the Friday takeover card, or even the Tuesday might have something going on and whatnot. I also want to allude to the point with no money spent versus all money spent.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, hold on. I'm just gonna be simple with it now. I feel that me being not all money spent, hella money spent. Okay? Y'all see my lineups probably on Twitter. All right, you talk about Jazz. You talking about your people might think you have a God squad because you play 5 hours or plus, and you really don't. Well, guess what? I do, and I spend. But with these rewards, I think they just make the teams better. No money spent is killing it this year, and I think it's a great thing with 2K. Unfortunately, people do not like the change, and that's why we have so much bickering. We have so much fighting because a lot of people, they can't left or right cheese no more. They can't do the movements and the little cheeses like they used to no more. You actually got to D up this year.
Yeah.
You feel
and
me?
I noticed that too. On ball defense is a little bit more like I don't ever guard on ball. Like I said, I put Lance on the ball and I guard it manually. I'm getting more stops. I'm like, wait, hold up, wait a minute. I'm actually like, you guard the point guard because like if you think about it, no one really knows how to move with the ball. They just run to the rim. So if you manually guard it, they're not gonna know what to do. Like the dude, I kid you not, I would cut him off. He dribbles back out. Tries to run into me again, but if you got a good enough defender on them, they're not going to just run past you. So I definitely do notice the gameplay tweaks. I for one I'm appreciative of it because of like previous years. I would play on ball defense and like everyone was like, no, you got to bait lanes, and it was effective. And I feel like now it's harder to bait lanes because you press square and they don't throw that pass, you are out to play, and that's how it should be because it's like, why the hell I got to stand in the same spot the whole time? Just spam square so that the moment you decide to throw it, now it's an automatic steal. Because in real basketball, you don't see somebody they're like this, moving their hand like that they jump for the steal, and if they miss it, that's an open shot. You threw yourself out the play.
Unless there's a glitch in the matrix. I'm sorry, Jazz. I didn't mean to interject. Okay. Unless there's a glitch in the matrix, then you would see that in NBA, but you don't see that realistically. And also, now with these blow-bys, now if you have half clamp breaker, that's a different story. You can speed past somebody. I'm sorry, Jazz. Go ahead. I apologize.
I was going to put this in perspective for you guys, right? So I announced the Next Maker thing on, when was it? Thursday?
Right.
90% of the interaction I got was 100% positive, celebrating, gave me warm, fuzzy feelings.
They hit you with the 2K shield?
No, not even. I'm going to talk about that as well. I'm going to talk about that as well because this podcast might be a reality check for some people. I'm going to talk about that in a sec. But 10% of the interaction I got was requests. Like I'd suddenly become a 2K developer or producer and could do all of these things. Let me break this down for you guys. If I built the game that all those people requested, if I did everything they asked me to do or 2K to do, this game would be somewhere between NBA Jam and Mario Kart. Like it would not be a usable, functional
NBA
game.
Elite.
Nah, I'm good with
NBA
that.
Elite.
You can't tell me
Elite.
it's not fired if you could throw the ball full court and when you catch it, a whole flame just go off. I'm telling you, that'd be fire, bro.
That's not why people play 2K.
I'm joking, but
I'm about to say,
I mean,
at least the blue shell with the algo, it was crazy. Like I was getting back-to-back messages that were contradictory. Like, can we do this and can we do the complete opposite of this back-to-back? And it really got me thinking. Like, it's why I said early on, right? Like, there is a whole credit side of things. People start taking credit for things. Okay, 2K did this. We could take credit. People taking credit because let's get real for a second, yeah? On Wednesday, people were kicking off on Twitter. Then they dropped the Halloween event on Friday, yeah? There was people on Twitter taking credit for the fact that the Halloween event dropped. Do you think they built that event in 24 hours?
No.
Well, it wouldn't have dropped without me. So
the intern's kind of on Lutz's side now, I think. But
I found him. We're chill now.
Do you actually think that in 24 hours, because you subtweeted DBG, that we now have whatever? Like, are you serious, bro? Like, are you serious? This is that Halloween event. They would have been planned for weeks.
It's basically the same as last year. Yeah, I mean they've had this done already.
Yeah, they do it 3 years. They do it every single year.
Yeah,
almost the same exact weight.
I think the extent to which they did this year is really good, though. I think I'm enjoying it.
It's fantastic.
But it's not. I can't complain. I genuinely
saying it's the same isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like the Halloween,
It's like no, it's the same concept.
Cool.
But I feel like they expanded on it this year, like to make it suit the game we have. But I thought it was cool how
the takeover players
31 tokens. 31 tokens. The takeovers. That's a W cool. Because if you missed any of those last year, let's say you didn't do limited, now you have a chance to go get one of the cards that you might have wanted to get. From last season, so I think there is another side to that. There are some people that got every takeover card last season.
Oh, they were angry.
Okay, well they can exchange for the other things then. Like, who cares? I don't care.
Yeah, it's true.
That's part of my problem with community. Why are you mad because somebody got a card that they weren't able to get before? Like this is what this literally. And then I see this in my comments sometimes, bro. Like, I already got that card. Why should they be able to get? I'm like, bro. It's a video game. You're supposed to have fun. Like, it's supposed to be enjoyable. If he missed the card, let him get you have it. You don't have to grind for it now. Congratulations. Like, what are you angry about? And it's the same way, like with packs and stuff. People are like, that guy pulled that card 2 times. He spent his own money to pull that card. Why are you angry? Why are you in that man's comments yelling?
Pocket watchers, bro.
Yeah, like you don't see me under Matt's post. Matt, I hate you. Why are you able to get that card and I wasn't? Like, what is wrong with y'all, bro? So,
I don't know. Sometimes I'd be punching the air and looking at his.
Oh no, there's some undercover hate out there, man. In a loving way. But let me tell you, with packs, Ludes, and you know this, man. There's a lot of people. I've talked to JC2K, talked to AW, man, specifically AW. He says, man, I was watching your pack opening, man, and my God, I just want to just scream, how do you pull all these packs, bro? And literally, he loves me, but he said, man, I hate you right now because I can't pull it, bro.
I was talking to Wildmont. Yeah, I was talking to Wildmont. I was like, nah, we got an Ocean's 11 his pack odds. Like, something's going on. Like, no, he's figuring something out, dude. Like, no, we need to figure this out, man.
I be ripping like 500K. I be ripping 500K every single week, and I be sitting there and I be like, and then I'll go on Twitter to Matt Mojo, fire boys. And I'm like, hey, yo, we finna have to fight. Dog. This is crazy, bro.
There can't be a person on Twitter that's more muted than Matt, right? Like, everyone's got to mute him. Like, you don't want to see.
No way.
DBG is king op #1 in the community. They hate DBG for some reason, dog. The sweats hate him. They hate that man, bro. Like, if you go in his comment section when he sent out a tweet, he can send out the most positive tweet. It'll be that one kid.
So much
shut up, blockhead. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, what is wrong with y'all, bro?
So much negativity,
are you okay?
Man. I don't know.
Love DBG,
man.
Love DBG.
Yeah.
Lots.
Let me talk about
passionate about the game.
Yeah. Let me really talk about this for a second. This is one of the things I really wanted to say on this podcast. It's ironic because you guys said the shill thing like 10 minutes ago. And I think there's a lot of tactical tweeting on Twitter. I think there's a lot of subtweeting going on, right, at certain people. If there's a public enemy #1 that people think that, you know, if they attack that person, it's probably going to help them in some way and you know, to be on the other side of it. Yeah, Sam. I mean, people subtweet Sam, people tag Sam in aggressive tweets. Like, tactically, there is no advantage to doing this. I just want to be really clear about this, right? So I achieved one of my big objectives this week. Let me tell you how I did it. By getting on with this community, by listening to different people, by giving everyone a platform to talk, by having good relationships with all content creators that I've interacted with, because every content creator I've interacted with is a good person. I built, you know, real life relationships with a lot of these guys as well. You know, we go do different things, and it's not in your interests as a small creator to get a bit of interaction on a tweet and end up blocked by 3 big creators. That is not going to do anything for you. Cut it out. Like, it's getting 20 likes on a tweet is not a reason to keep tweeting until someone who could do a lot for you, as they have for me, to block you. It's stupid. It's really stupid.
It is.
You know what I like about Twitter sometimes? I like how sometimes you could, because I don't get that many, it's random engagement, but like, I like how sometimes, you know, like regular people, like you tweet something and like it turns into a conversation. That's the part of Twitter I love. Like, cool, you don't even make it super interactive, but like, let's say you just post something that's on your mind, and then, you know, they like, I love seeing those long tweet responses. Like, oh, we're having a conversation now.
Yeah.
I like that too, but you get the dudes who are like who come at you in the condescending way. It's like so I'll be like, hey, maybe they should paint just why don't you just get off the game then? I'm like
I want to play the game. I want to play the game.
Like why?
Like,
but going back to the content creator thing, I'm one of the dudes to where if I see like a content creator I like, so for example, I had never had a conversation with Matt before like a couple months ago, but I saw him consistently tweeting out his videos and stuff. So I started to stop buying his streams and I started to watch his content and I started to retweet it because like that's what you do. You interact with people. Similar thing with like Joey AW. I didn't have personal conversation with those dudes, but I seen their content. I was like, okay, this is cool. I want other people to see it. I'm just gonna retweet it, bro. So being a asshole to dudes in the community, it gets you nowhere. Like it doesn't. Like it gets you nowhere.
I agree, and I feel like anybody that does that, whether it's DBG, whether it's any content creator, HTB, anybody, ABC, it don't matter who it is. All right. I think it's counterproductive, you know what I'm saying? Just to find it's clout chasing at the end of the day. There's no respect. There's no level of respect. And a lot of these dudes, you know what I'm saying? They're hiding behind a fake profile anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Most of them. So in this community, one thing I have noticed, and it's a lot of us have, is that there are people out here literally out just to sabotage a certain point, subject, person, thing, or just a grind. You know,
it's
what I'm saying?
also known as my block list on Twitter.
There we go.
There's always a nameless person behind with a hentai profile picture too. Every single time.
It's usually an entire timeline of just retweeting giveaways.
I remember I
got nothing on there. No personal tweets of their own. Just
giveaways that are never won every single time, like clockwork.
But did y'all ever talk about the fake snipes thing last year, dog? When that was going on, bro, that was hilarious, dog. I'm not gonna lie, because I joked about it, and then I got like a whole bunch of little kids under my tweet. You're just mad because you can't snipe, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to sit here for I respect the dudes who do it, but I don't want to sit here for 4 hours on the market trying to snipe cars, dog. That's not what I play the game for.
Shout out to those guys. They mean the hell out of that. I turned it into a joke. Yeah.
The dudes who snipe, like the content creators, I respect them because it's like you're there for hours, dog. Like you're looking at the screen for hours. I would have been insane at that point. I can't even stream for 2 hours without my brain turning into mush at a certain point. So,
nah, literally.
You know what cracks me up? One of the funniest things on Twitter is when you have like the fake professors. Whenever anyone puts out a percentage statistic, it cracks me up. 1% of the game are diehards, 80% are casuals.
Oh, that's me though. I do that in the podcast.
What is that based on? Like, are you legit Mika from the Muppets? Like, how?
First off,
I do it for my YouTube analytics. Like, I'll go to my YouTube analytics and be like, oh, that's a casual. He's watching this video specifically. But nah, we do be just throwing out fake numbers sometimes.
We have no idea.
Oh yeah, my percentages when I talk about like what percentage of the player base is what it is. Yeah, typically it's an educated guess, I would say. If you want to add its absolute most definitive
hypothesis.
But the one thing I will say is specifically with content, you can notice the jumps in content correlating with what 2K releases. Like whenever we get a Kobe card, content shoots up. Whenever we get like spotlights, content shoots up. Like, so that's how I kind of base that. Is like, okay, there's a core dedicated part of my team that's going to be playing this game no matter what. The game can be horrible. They're not going to care. They're going to play. Then you have that middle ground to where it's like, okay, I play a decent amount, but if the game's ass, I'm not going to play. And then you have I figured a majority where it's like my playing of this game is based on my enjoyment of it. Because you have some dudes who would literally sweat through anything if they don't, even if it's fun or not. So that's how I kind of base that off of. But the percentages are fake.
There was like one video the other day where the following two things were said in the same video. There's no casuals left on this game. Everyone's a diehard. And the top 1% are diehards.
Interesting. I mean, I'm telling you, my pyramid.
Are you gonna say who said that or no? You're not gonna tell us?
No, of course not.
I mean, my pyramid of 2K rankings is accurate and it needs to be universally used. Okay, like the pyramid I constructed, Sweat Lord. I forgot what the other one was.
You forgot
2K enthusiast. Oh yeah, comp, Sweat Lord, 2K enthusiast, casual. It needs to be universally ratified. Okay, like a new MyTeam Declaration of Independence. Everyone needs to use.
My bad. I don't count the comp dudes as like part of the community. They're their own little segment. Like they're just you got us over here arguing about moments cards, and you got those dudes over there trying ready to kill each other because they lost money in these tournaments or something.
Yeah,
the comp dudes aren't even in this stratosphere.
I've been splashed in 50 minutes what it looks like.
Nah, like no,
that's true.
Yeah, he definitely covered it well. Like no, this is not personal to anybody in the comp community, but I feel like the reason I feel like the comp community is toxic, and it's not because it's like it exists, but it's because of like the mentalities that stem from it. Like it's so much just like ego, and like a lot of dudes are not that good at the game as they think they are. And I feel like some dudes could be more competitive if they just try to find their own style of play. Like if they try to find their own way to play the game, I feel like it would add so much diversity, and they could possibly like branch out and become like one of the top guys. I feel like people are so afraid to really change. Like you see how everyone says like it's a meta every year, which is true. And I feel like the way I see the meta is it's not the only way to play the game. It's the easiest way to play the game. Because there's dudes who don't play the meta, and they'll get on unlimited and dog you. Like I played this dude. He was being toxic, but literally he sat in a zone, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot him out the zone. He plays so patient. Every play he's taking his time, and like he forced me to have to slow down. And I lost by 11, but he forced me to have to slow down. And it was a matter of if I could hit my shots or not. And in that matchup, I wasn't able to hit my shots. So I feel like there's definitely like with the comp community, I feel like dudes need to stop listening to the comp, like to the top comp creators to a certain extent. Like they know what they're talking about, but it's for that style of play. And like,
yeah,
cool, you want to watch videos and get cards that they say to get. I'd rather you like, okay, if there's this specific card that you want to use, if they tell you what to use to badge them out, I feel like that's where you could listen to them. But to completely go get a card because they're saying this card is good, I'm like, yo, you're getting a card, you're getting another center. You have two great centers doing good for you. Why are you getting this center because they're saying it's the best center in the game? Like, if your team is playing well for you, stick to what you know. And because people try to get new cards, and it just throws their whole game on. So I feel like the comp community, or like the people who think they're comp, I feel like they could get a lot better if they just found their own way to play.
You know, like I told you this week, right, that I ran into Fat Boz, who went on a hell of a run in 250K and actually beat one of the best players in Europe on the run on the qualifiers.
Right.
And he broke me and taught me at the same time. Like when I say this guy ran me over, like he ran me over. I have not. I don't think I've lost a game by more than, let's say, 10 points this year. I quit at the half. I was down so bad. That's how badly he beat me.
I put you off the court.
And he did the simple things really well. I saw what he did. He would drive inside. If the drive got stopped, he would send a cut. If the cut got stopped, then he'd see if someone helps and he'd kick out for a 3. If not, he'd send another cut. I just couldn't stop him. He had the same routine. And if it didn't work, he'd reset and go again. He just ran it again and again and again. And I was literally about to put my head through the keyboard. And then I was like, right, I'm going to watch it back. I clicked the game, watched it back, saw exactly what he did. And when I say I have not had an unlimited game that was even close since, is ridiculous. When I say I got like 1.5 hours done all the agendas, it's because I played Fat Boss last week, picked up his play style, and it is unstoppable. So simple things, man, this year.
Definitely. Like people try to do too much. Over dribble, and like you just like that's something I'm known for. I over dribble a lot when I play, and sometimes like you said, using the simple moves. Like my favorite thing to use this year is the attacking size up. Donovan Mitchell specifically, it's like he kind of does this floating hang dribble when he does like a crossover, and like literally there's like it's always something to do from there. You can either do that move, they try to cut you off, you bring back the other way, it's an easy blow by, or if they don't play up on it, it's still blow by. You could just step into a shot. So like you just do the simple moves, and I try to do all of like the snatchbacks and like I promise you it will work 10 times better than the way you're playing right now.
But
I promise you.
Look, I'm telling y'all, the 2-3 zone is bad. We out here, bro. I'm telling y'all. You said you got Bob. I'm CheapLudez. I've been doing this since 20. Dog. We fell off.
I ran the zone in 20. You run a zone against me now, I'll cook you by 40.
Yeah, we fell off a little bit.
I'm not even guessing.
I think I want you to play that guy though. The guy I played, it was hard to get shots. The guy I played, like I think he'll give you a good game.
There's certain
Some
people
dudes are elite.
that know how to use the zone and they know how to run a proper defensive scheme within that zone where it's impossible to score on them. Like they know exactly what they're doing. Their settings are tweaked perfectly to run that zone. I have run into those guys before, and it's not like your average Lil Timmy who's running a zone because they saw it on like a Ty Debo video. Like this is like a real deal. I play sim basketball. I'm running this zone kind of guy. I feel like the comp community, though, I feel like when we say the comp community, right, we're talking not necessarily about people that are competitive at the game or, you know, play the game in a competitive fashion. I feel like the complaints that are lodged mostly against the comp community, and this is going to probably not go over well, go mostly towards the wager community. I feel like once you start to bring in gambling and money to a video game, the player base just goes toxic outwards. It's funny because a lot of people know me being outspoken about many of Vice, but I like despise gambling.
Yeah, I hate gambling too. That's one of my biggest things. That I tweeted it out multiple times. I think the worst thing that happened to sports recently is like DraftKings and all of that becoming, because it takes away the fun from watching the games, because now you looking at your parlay. If he don't score 10 points, I'm gonna be on his comments. He better score them 10 points. Like
honestly, it made me watch basketball again. Honestly,
it can go both ways.
But honestly, I would get stressed from it. You know, like, oh damn, he didn't. But it's like now it's like the game is more intense. Like because you watching it, like I started watching the Grizzlies more, and like Desmond Bain, like he's on my radar. He's a dog. Like that guy's a dog.
To my biceps kings, he can't extend his arms halfway out. He got T-Rex arms and be splashing threes, dog. That way just shoot like straight from the chest. He got that in. He shoot like me. I ain't gonna lie, I be out there.
But that's where a lot of the toxicity I think on Twitter comes from, especially when it comes to the comp community complaining about the game. People are losing wagers. They lost to a person who quote unquote isn't playing, you know, meta or competitive style that would be acceptable. And so then they're upset at it. And I'll be honest, you know, I technically agree with it. I think the paint stuff is a little bit ridiculous this year, but I also don't play in a competitive fashion. So all I care about is them nerfing the difficulty on offline games, because that's really all I play.
Right.
You know, the paint and comp is bad. Like I feel like that's the thing that annoys me. Like I don't want to like, okay, cool, there's certain people like somebody like a Splash and Ty. I'll give, even if they lose to somebody who's just mash, I'll still think they're good because it's like they know they don't just play the meta, but like they kind of perfected it in a way. Yeah. Well, they kind of created it in this sense, but like dudes who's winning games just mashing, I'm not gonna like, I understand why they get mad, but to be toxic about it, it's like you knew what you were signing up for, you know how they played. But like I can't respect that at all. I can't respect that. I'm sorry. Like if you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna mash me and you're gonna don't think you're good. You're literally just using the exploit in the game. That's
you let them know good as well.
I mean, that's not even an exploit though. That's the worst part.
No, that is KillaJosh. I'm talking about like the pushing somebody out the paint. Like if I have a 90 strength, that should correlate to when I'm playing defense. You know what I mean?
Right. What are you saying,
but you want to know what's worse than that?
What?
AFK.
I still haven't run into anybody doing it.
Yo, Matt, I literally kid you.
I haven't run into anybody doing it.
I'm in the settings today. Dude is like, yo, come on, man, stop doing the settings, man. I'm about to go get in the shower anyways. I said, oh, you're AFK. Boy,
I love that guy.
That's worse.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not playing you.
Right.
I got dashboarded.
It's a waste. It's a waste. It's online, especially now. If it's offline, that's one thing. Go ahead, get your floss pick, whatever the case may be. But AFK is ridiculous. Okay, I want to veer back on one thing real quick, and this is just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? My biggest complaint, and I think 98, maybe 99% of the game, I feel is good. Two things: the lag spikes, especially online. You gotta stop.
Yes.
It's too much. It's too much. I feel like the shots are inconsistent. 1 minute, I feel like I'm out there like Steph Curry in a real game, boom, blinging them. Next moment, I'm off all of a sudden. And now it feels like I'm forced to use the meter, and I don't play with the meter at all. I don't know about you gentlemen up in here, but I can't play with the meter.
I mean, it spikes even worse with the meter, but the thing is like how would they even go about addressing that without investing in more servers, which I don't think they're going to do at this point. So
it's true.
It's tough. It's probably something that we're going to have to live with at this point. Depending on how you look at it, some people would say we would have to actually see what is causing it to determine if this is accurate or not. But some people say when more people get on the game, the servers will get better. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know enough about programming to call them out.
They're probably diverting resources to other stuff. I guess, like, for example,
the logic would be like if there's more people playing
on 22
in a certain server, like the server will have better health, I guess, because like the argument is we're having spikes right now because the servers are so barren that I don't know, dude. I'm not good
I
enough at
noticed
this
them in
stuff to
limited,
argue
though.
it. You know what I mean?
I noticed a lot of spikes in limited, like,
and limited is probably one of the least played modes. So yeah, I mean,
I noticed that in limited because like I would play and it annoys me though because like it's dudes that I know I would win that game. It's like I legit have to resort to like running to the rim, but like still being me. Like I want to shoot the ball. And there's times it's like you kind of gotta choose when you want to shoot it because like the spikes are consistent. It's like a time frame where it doesn't spike. So it's like I shoot it at this point in the play, I spike. But then if I shoot it after that or before that, I green.
There's a lot of factors that affect shooting this shit. A lot. There's closeouts. There's fatigue. There's a whole bunch of things.
No, I mean like it was like legit spiking. Like my shot would it would be an open shot, and it's like I'm timing it like what Jason Tatum. That's how I know
it does
like
happen.
I'm shooting with Tatum. Yeah. I know I know his jump shot close whether you're close, far, like so I know like I'm shooting the right way, and then like it would speed up randomly, like towards the end, like the bar, like I could kind of like I don't know if this is just me, but like you ever like when you shoot even though there's no meter, you could kind of feel like when the bar is getting.
I know what I've gripped. I know what
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like I would be experiencing that while I'm shooting with Tatum, and I feel like it speeds up when it's just supposed to be like a smooth kind of release. Like that's how the spike affects me when I shoot.
Guys, Go on.
Sorry. Yeah, there's also one of those things that it honestly could spike this badly every single year, but because it's green or mist this year, now we actually see it. And that's more than likely what's actually happening here. But everyone's trying to get Mega Brain on Twitter, and they're like, okay, so the spikes are happening because of this. So 2K can fix it this way. But I actually think it really just comes down to the fact that it's always spiked this badly. We just never noticed it because we made a bunch of whites. That's really what it is.
I mean, I agree. Ludes, let me ask you this real quick, and everybody in here. The inconsistencies for me is killer. I feel this is my saving grace, and maybe you can agree, maybe not. But do you feel that better cards will make better gameplay? Yay or nay? You think no? You don't think?
I think it does. It does when we get to a certain level of card. Like I don't think we're going to see a massive spike in gameplay probably until February when we start to get like very overpowered cards. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we're going to see. I mean, I've said it for a while. Once we hit February, this game is going to play like the first 3 seasons of 2K22.
Yeah,
I'll be happy with that.
I can see that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm down.
I'll be fine with that, honestly. Because if it's still going to be green or mist, I'm not going to be.
I don't think it will.
It's overpowered.
Like, I really don't. Like I think once we get to the point when we get to February and cards are coming out with 20, 30 Hoff badges.
I mean, Ludes, we have cards in the game right now with almost all Hoffs on shooting Hoffs.
Interesting.
I think what it is the timing of the shots.
Yeah, the jump shot timing. Maybe.
Right. Somebody like a Darius Garland or a Tatum or Scotty, when they get like actual quick releases, oh man.
That Sapphire Garland's already fast, man. Oh my god,
that jumper is nuts. What were you going to say, Bob?
I think it's on normal. I think it's a pretty fast release.
For me, there's certain things about the game that like it doesn't even have to do with the players. It's just certain things. Like for me, lane steals are ridiculous. I can hit the ball. Like, I can literally be in position and the ball will either phase directly under me, it'll phase directly over me, or my player will tap it and then the other player is going to pick the ball up. That's my most annoying thing because I run a zone. So a part of the zone is the fact that you get a lot of lane steals. But when you hit square and the ball goes through, there's nothing that sends me in a rage quite like that, bro.
Or if the ball goes through you, Wildmont.
Bro. You know what it is, too? I think it could be like the mechanics of the game because, like, the bump steals, for one,
bump steals overpowered.
The physics in it, you shouldn't even bump steals shouldn't even exist in 2K if they want to keep realistic mechanics. Because like, who the hell you ever see in the NBA run and get it? Because really, when we get bump steals, people really kicking the ball 9 times out of 10. They're really not hitting the ball. They
steal the ball with their ass,
hitting it with your legs. Like, that's what really the bump steals are. That's what really bump steals are. So like, you shouldn't even be that close. You shouldn't even be able to get that close to the ball handler to get that steal without that even being a foul. Because if you run up in like a officiated game and do that to somebody get a steal, you're gonna get called with a blocking or like a person. That's a foul every time.
I'm fine with base steals though, like the steals of you actually like getting ripped, because most of the time when I just get ripped, it's because I'm using a tired player, which I'm fine with. Like that's my fault. Okay, I got a tired player. But when I'm in perfect position and somebody throws a ball to the court, I'm telling you, there's nothing that sends me in a rage quite like that. When I'm in the perfect position and my player tips the ball and the other dude just picks it up, bro, I'd be ready to throw the whole game into like an ocean or something.
You know what's something that annoyed me last year though? Is like when you would like, let's say, okay, which is why it's hard to get steals now. You would dribble, and this is how I looked at it. You would dribble, somebody posts the ball out your hand. When have you ever seen a point guard get the ball poked away from them and they just don't react? They go and get the ball immediately after. You know, and steals isn't something that should be easy to get, which I do understand. You know, it's a video game, so that's the thing I do appreciate, because I remember last year the amount of times I'm dribbling with Luka or like Michael Jordan, and the defender plucks the ball. They do this dumb animation where they just like, and then the defender picks it up. It's like, yo, what point guard is he like? Oh, shoot, I lost the ball. I'm gonna go get it back.
Everyone's
that's
something
I do appreciate. I will give 2K that. They've had a lot better animations this year, because like some of the animations last year, specifically like where like you would shoot the ball or you would score a bucket and it'd be close game and your player would be celebrating, yay! And like they're halfway down the court and he's still on the other side of the court.
Bro, that's still
the camera flip.
It happens a lot less.
The camera flip.
It happens.
I don't know if y'all noticed. The camera flip is way better this year, because remember before you would turn it over and they immediately turn it around and then you get like a backcourt. Yeah. Now it's like a little bit of a pause. Like, okay, we're giving you time to get up the court, and then they. So I do notice that too. Like the camera flip this year, way better.
There's a few critical animations in the game right now that I just cannot stand. And one is whenever you try to mash, like say with Wilt or another center, whatnot, they inadvertently go out of bounds. That one, that one needs to go.
Or when you're driving, right? Like you drive, you just run straight out of bounds. Like you're driving, you're pressing square, and all you do is run out. I'm like, why?
The problem is when they catch the ball and they've set their feet and then they're fine and then they go out of bounds. That's the bit that just makes me want to rage.
Yeah, it's like they go like this, and then they turn around and go. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
They do it pivot almost. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, whenever you dunk, I know they have made it where you can rim hang. Sometimes it does it automatically, and you stay up there, especially in triple threat, which I cannot.
It's like, yo, go get back, bro. Like we
For real. I'm a self-proclaimed bum at the game. One of my worst things that got removed is like the barrier, because there used to be a barrier on the out of bounds line to where if you were dribbling near it, you just want to slide out. So I used to always I would snatch back right on that line and let it come to me, and I'll shoot the other direction. Now I go straight out of bounds, and I'd be angry at the game, but I know it's my fault for snatching back that far, bro. Yeah. So that's one of the animations. I'm like, if they add that back, I wouldn't exactly be mad at it.
I want them to keep that. No, keep it the way it is.
Guys,
nobody should be able to dribble on the baseline.
Can I tell you? I'm going to get flamed for what I'm about to say. I want to touch on something Matt just said. I had an AFK game the other day. I played against someone who was AFK, and it was the happiest moment of my 2K experience so far this year.
Join the dark side, yeah.
Let me tell you why. So I decided to go for the unlimited centerpiece first, and it was a strategic decision because end of the season, I know the EU servers are going to be barren, so I was like, right, let me get on. If I have to sweat, the only people that are on are 250k hopefuls or whatever, who cares? Let me get on, get games, get it done. I went on a great run, to be honest, but every game was like sweaty as hell. And I was like running on fumes. I had one game left to get my centerpiece. I was red-eyed, sweating, like just should either be in the shower or in a hospital at this point. It was bad. And I loaded up against a guy, had a god squad, all pink diamonds, opals, and I saw him run off the court with the ball, and I was like, it's Christmas. This is this is the best thing that could happen right now.
This is how I feel every time I see one.
Now I'm really conflicted about AFK because of that moment. I don't know.
It's all situational, and that's what I've said the entire time. It's situational. Yeah. If you are trying to play, like you got 2 hours and you're like, dude, I'm trying to be the very best Ash Ketchum out here, like I'm trying to compete, then you're going to be mad when you run into an AFK. But if you have one game left to get whatever you're doing, and then you see that man pull up controlling the shooting guard and they just stay behind the half court line, you're going to be joyous. You're going to be so excited. So it's just very dependent. And I wish, this is going to sound controversial as well, but I think that people on Twitter definitely exaggerate the amount of AFK people that they run into. And I truly wish that I ran into as many AFK people as I see some of these Twitter guys complaining about. Like, you ran into 5 AFK guys in a row. I wish that
I've
happened.
played 40 games and I haven't ran into one.
No.
Like, that's what I was confused about.
No, it's ridiculous.
I've ran into 2.
I've ran into 2. This dude made a post on Reddit, and I almost lost my mind.
Stay off of
He
Reddit.
literally got on the soapbox.
Stay off of
No.
bro.
He got on the soapbox and said, everybody, like, he's like, yo, I need y'all attention. They're trying to remove AFK. Like, he's like, shoot me some ideas. Like, it's like he's in a boardroom meeting, and he's telling everybody to just shotgun him ideas on how to still AFK. And I'm like, it is never that deep, bro. Like, let it go. Like, so literally, let it go.
No.
What part of the community is Reddit? Like, because we have we got Twitter. Or I'm gonna let you. You can go, Matt.
No, go ahead. No, I want to go ahead.
Okay,
please,
so we
please.
got Twitter. We got the Twitter community. We got the YouTube community. We got the Reddit community. What part of the community is Reddit? Are they like super sweats? Are they normal sweats? Are they like
casuals?
They're casual.
Business casual.
Business casuals.
Who casually uses Reddit?
Dudes added to the hierarchy. We got business casuals now.
Business casuals.
So are they're under casuals? Those are
the suits. Those are suits in the community.
Oh my god.
Yes.
They're
those
all
are the
part
dudes
of
who
the
be
7 layers of
reporting y'all
hell,
to
if I'm being
PlayStation.
honest.
I'm telling you, those are the Redditors. Those are the dudes who be reporting y'all to PlayStation.
No, so I don't want to disrespect the AFKers. I love you out there, because who can be mad at a free dub? Yeah, sure, you might be wasting a little bit of my time, but it's a free W. You know what I'm saying? I've only ran into 2, KillaJosh.
Yeah,
but with those 2, I was glad.
I dashboard them though. I don't even let them get the points. Like, you.
I don't understand it, because it's always someone with an absolute god squad.
They want
and you're AFKing and unlimited. Why do you have that squad? Just do it with golds.
My team is partly a gambling addiction for some people. They want the best cards, but they don't want to actually play the game. It's a similar thing to what happened with snipers last year. They want to actually snipe, but they don't care about actually playing the game. That's why I was like, my team has so many subsets of the community that 2K has to try to base towards, because you have dudes like me and Luz who we get on casually. We play, we rip packs here and there. We might have some fun. You got Matt. Matt's a grinder. Like, Matt loves to play. Yeah, Matt's a grinder. And then Josh, a part-time sweat. Jazz, you're an everyday player. I mean, you're an everyday casual player where you hop on for sometimes. And then you have the snipers. You got the super sweats. You got the dudes who just want to collect cards. You got the dudes who just want to rip packs all day.
There's so many dynamics. Like, if you compare that to 2K20. We had snipers and we had people that played unlimited. That was it.
That's what
pack addicts for sure.
Yeah, and pack addicts.
Right here.
I was one of those.
I was actually somebody who liked playing unlimited, and I was definitely a pack addict. Like 2K20, around that time, I'm gonna lie, I was ripping packs like off the wake up. We in stream. I'm like, yo, we're gonna get this. We're gonna do this pack opening. I'm there for like 2 hours. Like
I was given 2K that stimulus money right back.
For sure. Not gonna lie.
Here it is.
I enjoyed. I'm not gonna lie. I see why people open packs. Even though if I don't get the card I want, I'm not really too upset. It's kind of it's an enjoyment though. Like, just like you and stream, you just see the shake. You like, oh, like who is this?
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was trying to get out of position LeBron, and I got trolled so hard. Like, I literally got almost every card in the set. I forgot that Draymond was in there. I'm like, yo, we just got LeBron. And then I see Warriors. I said Warriors. It said Draymond. I'm like, bro.
So yeah, that's why I like ripping packs. I like I would literally just rip them just to interact with my YouTube channel, because I'm like, I don't really care about the cards in the packs. Yeah, I mean, it isn't even for content. Like it's for content, but it's like I genuinely enjoy talking to my chat while I'm just because it's something where I don't have to focus on unlimited. It's something I don't have to play this. I can talk to them and. Like, I can show them my personality, because in some of my videos, you really can't see my personality. But if you meet me and you actually talk to me, I'm insane. So it's like, that's my chance to actually just talk to them and be like, okay, I'm cool with you guys. Like,
we have 2 parts of the spectrum here around the podcast today, because we have 2 people who have arguably the worst pack odds in the entire MyTeam community, in Wildmont, and then you have easily the best pack odds in the entire community in Matt over there, who has like 50 pink diamonds somehow.
The last good card I pulled was Galaxy Opal Hakeem last year.
Bro,
Galaxy
my
Open.
best
Jesus
poll.
No, you do.
Best poll was
So-
Pink Diamond Curry. My
You
best
know-
poll was Pink Diamond Curry.
Pink Diamond Jaw for me, dog. Like,
you
after
guys
I got
better
Ja-
relax. Like, you guys are not overhyping Matt over here. This man has 50
No.
Ps this year.
That is
50,
crazy.
5-0.
That's crazy.
And I be in the stream and Matt will sit there and he'll just be like, "Hey, you guys, we got another one." I'm like, "Yo, we're finna fight, dog. What are you talking about?
Look, Jay, listen. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I love ripping packs because I am literally a pack addict. Not really a pack addict, but I love to rip packs. So here's the deal, okay?
You're a pack.
Everybody asks me, why do I love to rip? It's very simple, man, because there's people out there that can't afford the VC or the MT. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any MT. They don't have any VC. They can't rip any boxes. So they're living vicariously through me. They really are.
Okay. Yeah.
And not to mention, it is content like Wildmont. I love watching Wildmont's packing ups because he really interacts with his people. It's really fun to see, you know. Go ahead, Wildmont. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my thing with ripping packs. No, not bad, Matt. But that's my thing with rip packs. I love talking to the chat. Like, that's my favorite part about streaming. I like the game's fun, but for me being a content creator, my favorite part is the people that you see in your chat every single day, the people that you interact with, the people like that's the part about content creation that I think a lot of people who don't create content don't really get to see. Because like this dude can be somewhere in Tokyo, but me and him are bonding over the same type of thing that we have locked in. So that's my favorite part about it is the human aspect of it. The packs are cool. Yeah, the players are cool. But my players are going to be gone at the end of the year anyway. I don't care about the players. It's the being able to interact with other people that I love about content.
Ludez went entirely different route yesterday. He missed a Ty Debo raid because he just ranted for 25 minutes straight and made a comeback.
He rated like 300 people. I didn't even notice.
Anything. I was down.
I was spiraling yesterday. My favorite thing to do during pack openings is to not reference that I'm even opening packs at all or show any excitement in any way, shape, or form because people get really upset. Like there's been a bunch of TikToks that people will send me that I'm featured on, I guess, and people get so mad in the comments because I'll post something good and just not care at all.
I respect it.
Yeah, like I think you had pulled Carmelo. He was like,
it was Carmelo.
Sweet, we got Melo. He's like, oh, sweet, we just got Melo.
Yeah, and then I talked about him getting arrested in the airport for like 5 minutes afterwards.
See, that's the funniest thing about Ludez pack openings. It's the random stories that he have. It's like, where did you remember the one random kid that you met in the high school bathroom who you went and talked to for 3 hours that day? Like, where did you pull that story from, dog? Like, Ludez legit has like a movie life because it's like he has the movie stoner life where he lives in the Midwest. Random stuff happens. Like last year, his Wi-Fi got shot out, and I'm like, me and him are literally texting. I'm like, your Wi-Fi got shot out. Yeah, he's like, yeah, somebody had a drive.
I sent him the article. Yeah,
he's like, somebody had
what
a
do you
drive.
have? DirecTV?
I have Comcast, and last year what happened was there was an incident, a firearms incident that I'm not going to go too into, and it actually struck the fiber wire coming from the Comcast
I'd have been so mad.
And my internet was gone for about 5 days because of it. Yeah,
but this is the normal day in his life. That's the funny part about it. This is the normal day in his life, and I
want to bring back to what Wildmont was saying about like the interacting with the chat thing. That's something that like at a certain point in time, I used to be like that, and then I lost that aspect. Like
you are literally the worst.
Listen, hold on.
Literally. Let me before you say anything, let me explain what Josh does when he reads his chat. First of all, he'll read the conversation bottom upwards. So he's reading it in reverse.
What?
Right? So there's no timeline to anything. And the second thing is he'll just read it. He'll just say, "Oh, you know, what card shall I get?" And go back to playing. He will not respond to the comment. He will not interact with it.
See,
he
bro,
just reads it and moves on.
I can't multitask. I'm still working on it because before, that's what I was gonna say. Like before, when I first started streaming, I used to do that like big time. Like I used to play, read chats, and I was better at doing that. But then like at a certain point, I stopped because like I don't know, streaming just became dull for me. I think I got too caught up in the numbers. That's what ruined it for me.
See,
but now I'm starting to get back to the point where it's like I look forward to engaging in the comments. There's this one dude, Knuckles is the biggest troll in the chat. He is the biggest troll, but he definitely keeps me entertained with the weird things he said. I would definitely say that. He says the weirdest things, but he definitely keeps me entertained.
You can never get locked in the numbers when it comes to content creation because you have to keep in mind they're always going to go up. Like that was my biggest thing. like Luz can tell you, last year I was freaking out. I was like, my views are low because it was like September. I was like, my views are low, yada yada yada. I don't know. And then I ended up having the best year I've ever had on YouTube last year. So you have to just keep that in mind. As long as you're enjoying yourself, dog, and as long as the people who are watching you are enjoying it, that's all that matters. Because people are gonna go like me. I have a mini community that tells me I have CTE because I kickbox, dog. Like those are the interactions. Those are the interactions you live for. Because for me, like again, the money's cool for content creation. The views and stuff are cool, but just being able to interact with people every single day who you don't even know, that's the fun part.
Yeah, so. My friend, like my friend Nate had commented on my video, and it's so crazy. Like I was posting, I'm trying to be more consistent with posting. I've been on top of it this week. I probably didn't post like
you
2
post
days,
every day.
But I post like damn near every day. But so Nate had pointed out that he's been enjoying the videos, and honestly, I was trying something new on my channel. I wasn't too sure if they was gonna try it. I know, like, I wasn't worried about the numbers, but like when I get comments on my videos or like just people DMing me about like little things like that, it's like it's like I still want to keep doing this. It gives you that little extra.
The best feeling is I don't play 2K anymore, but I still watch your videos because I like them. That's all I need.
Man,
like
that's it.
Dog. That's all I need.
There's people watching this premiere right now that
don't play 2K. Yeah, so and I guess for people who watch content creators, they don't know how much that means. But when you've recorded for 5 hours in one day, you looked at a screen for 5 hours in one day, just to see that people are enjoying the content that you're making, that's all that matters to me, dog. Like
I don't know what that's like. I work 2 hours a week. Should we get into content? I think we've done 3.
I actually wanted to
the cards that dropped this week.
Go on, Liz.
Well, I wanted to talk about this. Like, let's just blast through this while we're here on this subject of content creators. But like, one of the biggest things that popped off on Twitter, which I know is like it's one of the 7 layers of hell. It's like an echo chamber, obviously. But like, one of the biggest things that popped off on Twitter, and I'm sure it spread to other avenues like Reddit and YouTube and stuff like that, was the debate over allowing content creators to use cards on your account.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing. That was even bigger than the moment stuff. Yeah, that was bigger than the moment stuff this week. It was kind of crazy. It led to like a huge debate over like, should you be allowing content creators to use your account for content?
Dude, you can shoot a dude $5.
Someone threw out the idea that the content creators should pay the people to use their accounts, which I'm not against at all. I'm not against that at all, because it's like at the end of the day, more times than not, content creators looking for people to use their accounts, probably getting paid from it. So it's like, okay,
they're definitely getting paid from
it. You're investing in your channel to use somebody's account, which I'm not against.
That's kind of messed up too. And I guess it kind of depends on the size of the creator. Like for me, I can't pay you $50 to use their account. Like I just can't. But if you're somebody who that one video is going to get you $200, $300, $400, $500, bro, shoot this man $20 for letting you use his account, dog. Like that's nothing to you, because you're going to make 20 times that off of the video. So, and also for the people who will just allow, I mean, you can have the dudes who just want to allow you content creators to use their account, but not like if you know you're giving your account.
2K23 is making that much money off a gameplay video.
Shout out to Gerard though.
HTB be killing it,
the only one, but he only uses this account.
Yeah, but HTB be killing it. He's
making bank for sure. But outside of that, he's making like $20 off a gameplay video. Right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, realistically, gameplay videos are garnering maybe a maximum of 10K views at this stage. Like, no one cares. But
I feel like people are over like gameplay videos. I feel like they're like,
you gotta be entertained.
Dead, and like it's nothing. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are dead because everyone tries to do it the
same way. Yeah,
no, everyone tries to like literally do the whole, I'm gonna read you the badges, I'm gonna read you the stats, I'm gonna read you the tendencies,
and I'm gonna sweat with this card. Yeah,
and sweat with this card. When like somebody out, let me say, HCB and what's his name,
Denver,
TJ, their gameplays, I loved it. I love the way they do their gameplays. I love the way like TJ, his whole intro, like his talking and the like he's dribbling around with the card, scrolling through the stat. He's not reading off the badges. He's just showing you everything, and then like a little corner. I love the way he does it. And then HGBs is like a story almost. I love those.
This is a movie. Yeah.
For me, I stopped doing gameplay videos because I knew I wouldn't be able to put the amount of time that was needed into making them the way I wanted to. So for me, whenever I do gameplays now, like they take, like if you see some of my gameplays, because I have 2 series on my channel, they take days to get edited.
Yeah.
But I like doing that because I know that I'm putting the amount of time that goes in
Quality.
requirement. Yeah, that make this enjoyable for somebody. I don't want to sit here. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play the card. I'm gonna cut this video up. I might add a little music in the background, no effects, no nothing. I really just want to. This year I focused on pushing out content that when I look back, I can go, okay, at least I tried to make something different. Yeah.
Like that's what I did too. Like I did a gameplay kind of with RJ Barrett, and like if I do gameplays this year, it's never gonna be like because it's the headline card. Like I might do it with Lance because like if I like a card, that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm not gonna try to be the best that perform. Like no, I want to make this entertaining.
You always try and make it a little bit personal.
Like personal to me because like I said, Lance is like that's a card I love. RJ Barrett when he dropped, I was like, holy crap! Like yo, he's my favorite player on the Knicks right now. So it's like cards that have like a personal connection to me. That's what I like using.
Matt, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, Matt.
No. I was just going to say that there's a couple of dynamics to it because, like for instance, what Wildmont said, throw that individual $5. Well, a shout out also goes a long way. Now, for me, I would never ask anybody to use their account for any card. If I can't get it, I'm not going to get it. Maybe it's the pride in me. I mean, I don't know what it is, but for the gameplay videos that I've done, the only way I would do the gameplay videos if I have the card. There are certain instances, though, where you can, if you have it like that, throw them something on the side if that is the case. But I don't know why people are making it a big deal, especially if it's not their account in the first place. People just mad because somebody has it and somebody else doesn't.
It's a 2K community.
And like I want to shout out two people because they let me use their account in the past, and I didn't ask. They would always offer it. Shout out to NBA 2K Kiwi. You can follow him on Twitter. And shout out to OG Steven. I don't think Steven makes content anymore, but I know he has a channel. Those two dudes, like I remember Steven with him. I love when Gerard did it too, but like Steven, it was just like I guess like I was kind of getting some traction on my channel, and like I was just like I had posted like to see if anyone had the card, and he like me and him never interacted before. He said, "Yeah, bro, you could use my account." He doesn't know me from anywhere. The fact that
that's the thing, Josh. Like
I appreciate those.
That's love.
I'm going to answer Lude's question really quickly. Like. From my perspective, obviously, last year I did gameplay videos 3 times a week. And it was, I never ever asked anyone for their account. Usually I would do it on mine. 99% of gameplays I've done on my account. But every time it came up, it was offered to me. Now, I could have done a gameplay on every single card last year if I just looked at my DMs and responded to someone who said, hey, do you want to use my account? Now, that's fine. If someone wants their favorite content creator to use their account, this idea that it's taking advantage of them is just cut it out, man. It's nonsense. It's not. It's gaslighting to the highest level. No one's getting taken advantage of. It's a lot of the time adults to other adults. It's not kids. Kids are not dropping.
Kids aren't even playing right now.
It's adults ripping packs, offering their account to other adults. Now, here's what I do think would be better, and retrospectively, what I think I would have done differently. A lot of the time, a lot of creators have used my account. That's something that's happened. I think there's a shout out. There's like, thanks to Jazz for letting me use his account, which is usually the extent of it. Then there's the other layer of like, their link is in the description, so they'll link you to their handles, or whatever. I think at the very least, you should throw their handles up on the screen. I think that's an acceptable trade for being on a video that's going to get you way more views and tractions than you would in any other walk of life. I think that's a perfectly good trade. But if you're going to shout someone out, throw their Twitter up on the screen, throw their YouTube up on the screen if they've got one. Like if you look in the comments right now, if you look in the description of this video, all of your handles are in there. It's every single week. Your Twitter's in there, your Twitch is in there, your YouTube's in there. That's my way of kind of saying, right, go in there, get something from this. But I think just a direct shout out is significantly different than a casual mention.
It's important at the end of the day. And I really believe, just for instance, for like Ty Debo, for instance, he gives out shout outs. That's important. That's a whole lot of clout right there. Yeah. Ty Debo used your account. You know what I'm saying? That's very important. Also, real quick, I want to say this. There's content creators out there that push out videos. And I mean, there are people out there have been candidates. For instance, Evan Tanaka, love him. He pushes out videos, and I think he says he only makes like a couple dollars, for every video. I mean, some people can't give the 5. Some people can't get the 10. So that shout out does go a long way. You know what I'm saying?
I lose like on all of my edited videos. I think I told Luz this. I lose about $20 per video, like edited video, just because I don't get enough views from it. But it makes the channel look better for me. So I kind of
in the long run. It's gonna
it
help
helps
in
in
the
the
long
long.
run.
But
Yeah,
I
there's a
definitely
corner
can
of your
understand.
fan base that want to see that. That's the
Yeah.
thing, and you got to engage them. Yeah.
I think
So-
that's something Jazz has taught me too. Like, because like I said, the numbers thing I would focus on, but like building on what you already have.
Yeah.
It's like honestly, you kind of get blinded by it. Like realistically, I have a fan base already. May not be the biggest right now, but like building on that already set fan base is definitely gonna. I feel like that's what all successful channels do. Like they build on the already set fan base. I think that's like important to do.
As a creator, I think once you hit the point where you stop chasing views and you start chasing like good content, that's the point where you find like you realize, okay, this is because once anybody can pull views on YouTube. I say that especially in peak season, you can upload the worst possible video on YouTube and pull views.
Get mad views.
Yeah,
Shorts is the wave, by the way. Yes.
Yeah, Shorts is insane. Like the amount of like viewability on Shorts is crazy. But like for me, the middle of the summer last year, I hit the point where I was finally like, okay, I want to push out content that when I look back, I'm going to be happy I made that content. It's just not like a whole bunch of this video, that video, this video, that. I want to make content that I'm happy with. And I think for me this year, I've gotten comfortable with being okay with the views are a little low on these videos. I know I can pull more if I push out this type of video, but I enjoy it and the segment of my community enjoys it. So I think as a creator, you have to hit that point at a certain point.
Let me touch on one big thing, and while I'm going to allude to everything you said right there. On the flip side, there's a few, matter of fact, it's more than a few, unfortunately, content creators that have left because they're so worried about the views. They're so worried about the subs and all that, and they're not getting what they're getting. We got to listen. The first part of 2K is always slow. It really is. You know what I'm saying? But as the old adage says, those who stay will be champions. A lot of people are like, how do I get my views up? How do I do this? This and that. Well, I'm gonna say this. For those that really think that MyTeam or NBA 2K is dead, look at these small content creators pushing out content. Get yourself out there. I was talking to Decentric about it. You just need to get yourself out there, okay? And push and push and push. No matter what anybody says, think. Do what you love, and it all will come into play. I'm a firm believer that somebody's going to like your vibe inevitably down the line.
This literal podcast is the example of what you're talking about. I started this. This is our 8th episode, so we've done this for 8 weeks, or 7 weeks technically, right? But yeah, we've done it for that period of time. The views have gone up each week. The concurrents have gone up each week. The engagement has gone up each week. I have just signed a next mega contract with 2K last week.
Dubs.
I literally load up. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, let's break this down. Let's do a bit of an FAQ on the podcast real quick. Yeah, Ludez and Josh can allude to some of this stuff. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, we do plan. Like, we do have some ideas of things we're going to talk about. But at the end of the day, we load up and we just talk for 2 hours. Like, there is no plan. We can't control it. Splash went ham for an hour last week. We couldn't do anything about it. We had to let him rock.
Yeah.
And it was going at the end of the day.
We'll have a tiny outline of just random things we want to talk about. But other than that, I mean, we don't plan a single thing out. So it's like, I just feel like people take the whole YouTube thing a little bit too serious. I mean, you'll see guys who have like whole books on the subject. I mean, studying in certain capacities does help, but I feel like a lot of people just take it way too serious. You don't need to sit there and start tweaking out about trends and analytics, whatever, man. Just go out there and like record videos and have fun.
We'll have fun. Yeah.
So for me, one of the things that Matt just said was about staying at the beginning. CP is a great example of this, dog. Like CP streamed almost, I ain't gonna say every day, but he streamed consistently throughout last year while the game was dead. What was it? February came around. CP was probably the biggest MyTeam streamer on YouTube at a certain point, dog. Like, he was going crazy. So I tell that like smaller creators that all the time. It's bad now, but eventually people are gonna come. Christmas hasn't even hit yet, dog. Like,
tell it.
You know how many kids are gonna get flooded on the game for Christmas, dog? Like, it hasn't even hit. So you just have to stay. And I'm not gonna say if you're leaving, you don't enjoy it, but if you enjoy the content you're making, you're going to upload it because that's what anything.
It's very evident as well that there are some 2K creators not enjoying making content as well. I'm gonna leave that there for a second because we've got half an hour left, and we haven't touched content this week. If anyone's got anything to add, go ahead. But we need to move on.
I'm all about content, man.
I just want to say one thing real quick, man. Listen, the reason why that I do is because of my people. If I didn't have my people, I wouldn't be streaming 3 to 5 to 10 hours, per stream. That's what motivates me. That's what gets me going. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, sorry.
Love it. Yeah, love it. All right, so this is going to be the worst transition ever, but after Twitter had a breakdown, we got Jalen Brunson. Thoughts?
I want to cover
block,
this.
though.
As a Knicks fan, I want to cover this one.
Nobody want that man.
It
should have been Trey.
Okay.
Should have been Trey. Should have been Trey.
Anyways, I liked how they made the moments grind very simple. They took the stats of Jalen Brunson from that game. They made it the requirements. You get the card, and the card is actually not bad. I used him in limited this weekend, and he actually helped me out a lot. I did run some unlimited games with him. He's pretty good. It's just people see him and just immediately want to mash. I'm not trying to guard a mash, so I took him out the lineup. But I thought the grind was easy for the simple fact that I got my block early on. I know it wasn't easy to do because I played the challenge game. I'm literally trying to get chase downs. I'm like, yo, Jalen Brunson's a 6'1" point guard. What are you doing?
Well, I was on Discord to you trying to get that block for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Ty's video?
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Ty's video?
I was popping
I heard
in there
about it.
occasionally as well.
It was yeah. I mean, I know it was his actual stat line, and it just makes sense as the block is crazy, dude. The block was crazy.
But honestly, like what I said for me, if I was to like make a video, I'm not gonna make a video, but like if I was to make a video and give anybody advice who still didn't get the block yet somehow, honestly, you have a better chance of getting a block on the perimeter than you do in the paint. Because if you just ball, because that's how I saw it. Like when we play against the CPU on a lower difficulty, they will shoot anything. If you stay in their face for the entire shot clock, just put your hands up before the 2-second mark, and they're just gonna throw it into your hand. You're gonna get the block.
This is gonna sound a little bit tweaker-ish, but the best way to go about it is, in my opinion, you load up a triple threat game, and then when you first get that, I recommend using a dude who's 5'10", dude who's 5'10" to 6 foot, and then Jalen Brunson. But whatever, you can do whatever you want. When you get that matchup, immediately pause the game and go to 2KDB and look at their shooting tendencies. If you see somebody who's going to have a super high 3-point tendency, that is your best bet to get Jalen Brunson at that point, because then you know for an absolute fact that this CPU is going to pull. Like for some reason, random cards will just decide they need to shoot every possession. Everything. Bob McAdoo is a very good example. He will shoot any three if he is wide open for no reason, even though he has like a 49 3-pointer. So when you see that, definitely try to block it. I think
that's a good tip right there.
I switched on to Bugsy Bugs in the end. That's how I got it.
Yeah, but he was doing you for a little bit though.
He
was giving you the business for a little bit, for sure.
So I can give you the real spiel on this block challenge. You can use Muggsy, you can use Manute. It don't matter who it is. Let me tell you how you do it. You go and whoever the player is coming up the court, you try to block that player, let them come in, okay? Because they're gonna pass you, all right, and they're gonna drive, and then you get the chase down block. So basically, block at half court, let them come down, and they will block. You can get the block with Jalen Brunson just like that.
I'll be honest. This has nothing on the Joe Ingles dunks, though. The Joe Ingles dunks are so much worse. They are so massively worse. And I will say, though, this moments challenge at the same time, the fact is like, I said this on stream too, but like, we're 2K heads. So we saw that block and we're like, yeah, that's going to suck, dude.
Right.
We know what it is. But like, any average player that hops on the game, that is the least intimidating grind that 2K has put in the game all year.
And they would get the block too. They would get it easier than we would. Because I feel like
we're thinking about it too hard.
I feel like when we try hard to get
you might be right.
It just makes it harder. Like when you get set on trying to get the steal. Because if you think about it, like legit, those things that they ask us to do, you could get that so organically. But because I don't know what it is about this community, when such a rush to be the first to get cars, we would automatically rush it. And then like that's what I had to realize. I had to be like, all right, you know what?
Dudes were staying up for 65 hours straight to get John Havlicek, who nobody has used this entire year. It's just how the community is.
But
bro, content creators are insane, dog. I told you, it's like they're insane. And I guess the rush to be first is always the thing that comes back like to that, bro. Everybody has this incessant need to be first in this community, bro. So it's just like you have a dude who barely plays yet. Why are you trying to rush to get Jalen Brunson first, bro? Just enjoy when you get him, dog. Like,
I got a question for you guys. Do you think Jalen Brunson dropped when he dropped because 2K were going to do it anyway, or the community pressured them into doing it, or the community sped up something that was going to happen inevitably?
Neither. I think it's DBG.
At first.
Yeah, it's DBG.
First,
I said the same thing.
I thought it was rushed at first because like he wasn't on 2KDB, but it turns out that's a whole nother thing going on with the PC 2KDB going on. So like it just happens that those days end the lineup. I feel like they were gonna drop it. Like they were gonna drop it regardless. Only thing I'm trying to wrap my head around is like, what are the requirements for a moments card? Because like in the past, I would see dudes literally getting a career high in points, don't get a moments card. Some random Joe Schmo gets a moments card because they scored their first 25 points ever in the game. So I'm like, what are the requirements?
I can break that down for you. First tier, are they a pack seller? First tier, are they a pack seller? If they are a pack seller, you will never see them as a free reward card. I've been saying this for 3 years. Are they a pack seller? Second tier, how likely are they to be a secondary pack seller? So, for example, Trae Young is going to be eventually, he's going to get a pink diamond. He's going to be a secondary pack seller. He's going to be put next to like a big name player. So he's probably not going to end up getting a moments card until he comes out in packs. Third tier, how likely is this card to be overpowered in 2K? This is when we get those random cards every single year with like high wingspans, high jumpers. He just went for 35. He'll be great in 2K. He's going to eventually be in packs as a low tier card that 2K can boost up to a high tier card later on in the year as a fan favorite. Then you get the guys that 2K doesn't care about, the Jalen Brunsons, the Julius Randles, the Darius Garlands, those type of dudes. No diss to those dudes. They're great players, but those are the three tiers of how like
you did start out with 2 Knicks though.
You had to say
Knicks that out. Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the Knicks. Y'all have actually been decent this year. Y'all haven't been as good as the Hawks.
You said 2 Knicks players. I'm like,
you can tell that me and Wildmont have had this conversation a bunch of times because this is exactly what I said in the Discord the other day, like to a T. This is the exact same thing.
I mean, we've been on the same wavelength for 3 years. That's exactly how it breaks down for 2K. If you are going to sell, you're never going to see Kevin Durant as a free card until he gets a card in pants. You're never going to see Giannis, LeBron. That's why when people ask me, hey, are we ever going to get the free LeBron? No, you're not until the end of the year.
I mean, there have been over the last couple of years. Like, Kawhi's been in there, D-Wade's been in there, Steph's been in there.
It usually comes... I mean, for Steph is not really a pack seller for 2K. I try to tell people that just because they're a big name player doesn't make them a pack seller. But
also, cards aren't pack sellers until they're out. So there's other examples, right? Like Terry Dishinger would be a pack seller now. We just didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, but you can usually tell which card. Like, there's a top 5 for me every single year going to sell packs. LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, T-Mac, Giannis. Those 5 are going to sell packs.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think after this year Jordan's going to be a pack seller because his jump shot.
No, they're going to speed it up.
Jordan is 600,000 MT
they could
right
speed
now.
it up.
What are you saying?
They could speed it up. No, they could speed it up, but like it's still not like
you're right.
Like
you're
last year
right.
was super.
There's certain.
I wanna call BS on something real quick. just before I forget, because I've got to call BS on this before this podcast ends. Listen, when it comes to the moments thing, there's parts of the argument I understand, and there's parts I don't. Okay, and I really want to call BS on the part that I don't. If you need moments cards because you need daily content, just say it, please. If you need moments cards or you want moments cards because you feel like you play for whatever reason, you're a massively involved in the NBA 2K23 community, but you can only play 30 minutes a day. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people are. But if you need it for that reason, good. But can we stop one narrative, please? Because honestly, every time I hear it, I want to put my head through a wall. Can we stop the narrative that we need moments cards to bring people into the game? Are we serious? Is this a serious narrative?
No, we can't.
How many people downloaded 2K23?
I'm telling you guys.
Hold on real quick. Let's touch on this real quick then. If that's the case, which I agree. Hold on, Wildmont. If that's what he's saying is true, which I do agree, then we need to make that level 32 Zion at least a diamond, because that is the narrative. That is the narrative right now, that level 32 Zion is bringing other people in.
But I'm going to say this. Every single time we got moments of the month last year, that was the biggest spike in terms of viewership in MyTeam. People care about like getting cards that they play, like that are doing good in India. I'm not saying they're going to be the biggest part.
That's content.
But but I'm saying for me, people like you could tell people care about getting players that are actually doing good in the NBA. Like you see how angry people got last year when Darius Garland didn't get a card, or when RJ Barrett didn't get a card. Like people,
that's what I was saying.
Why?
I was record 3 times.
I was on I was on the soapbox about RJ Barrett. And the fact that we didn't get a goaded out RJ Barrett is crazy. Man, I was on the soapbox about that.
He
That
needed
man
at
was
least an
stupid.
Opal Moments card.
Yeah,
I think it was the.
I don't even like the Knicks. They trash, but I like RJ Barrett.
I got to hear what Ludes wants to say because Ludes looks like he's about to have a breakdown. Go on.
Red right now, dude.
Triggered.
Right. So look, okay, I partially agree with you and I partially disagree with you, right? I think what you're saying about do moments cards actively cause someone to go buy a copy of the game? No, they do not. I don't think anybody's seeing a Sapphire, a Sapphire RJ Barrett and going to cop.
How many people downloaded the game because Jalen Brunson got a moments card?
Zero. I would say zero. Not even Jalen Brunson probably downloaded the game.
People who had the game already downloaded probably came into the mode. If you're a Knicks fan, you may care about Jalen Brunson. Just like if we anytime we get any type of Hawks player, I don't even care if it's good or not. I'm going to grind for it because he's a Hawks player. So you have people like me, we're a little messed up in the head. But, if we get a Clint Capella who I absolutely hate, I'm going to get him. I'm going to try to get my boy. So
no, really what it comes down to is I think the important part about moments cards, especially from like a grindable card standpoint, is they take players. Because what ends up happening with me, and I cannot be alone in the way this happens, is I end up jumping on 2K and I'm looking at everything and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to get rewarded anything until I get a centerpiece. All right, I start looking at, I got to play 80 games until I get a centerpiece in this mode. I got to do this, and this. I end up just staring at the menu for like 30 minutes because my motivation is completely shot, right? Because I'm not going to get anything that day. So it makes kind of playing that day feel almost worthless, even though I know it's not. So I don't think, going back to what we talked about earlier with the trophy cases, I think trophy cases are great. I do. I wish they'd be a little bit less convoluted so your average person didn't have to watch 16 YouTube videos to figure out.
I mean, it's crazy they haven't released a tutorial on it. It's
that's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah, what you said.
Go on, Liz.
I just feel like the moments cards and the other small grinds are very important to motivate people to continue to play this game, because you can only motivate somebody with trophy case pieces for so long. Because if it takes me 3 hours to get this one trophy case piece, at the end of the day, I still got to get another 12. I got to get a centerpiece. I got to go play a domination game. But you have stuff like Brunson and guys like that along the way to getting trophy pieces. It makes me want to go after those trophy case pieces because at least I'm getting things that I can, mess around with in the meantime.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting
because it's literally what I said, right? I just said it. Like, if you want cards because you want to create content,
yes,
or you want cards because you want a short grind in the game and that will do something for you for whatever reason, fine. It's not bringing anyone into the game. That narrative genuinely drives me crazy because I think it's just nonsense.
I think it can keep people in the game. I think it can keep people who normally may stop playing the game. I think we'll continue to play the game if we continuously get these smaller grinds.
Let me give you an example of like just today on my Twitter, right? So I got that Iggy card really quickly. A bunch of comments underneath it going, "Oh, good for you. I'm not going to bother. It's worth it." Blah blah. I'm like, you got to win like 14 games, which you're probably going to do anyway this weekend. Do it on the way to the centerpiece. Like, what do you mean is it worth it? If you're playing the game this weekend, you might as well do it while you're progressing in every mode towards the centerpiece.
Well,
it becomes a no-brainer.
The other thing is I think a lot of us, and I include myself in this as well, for sure, because I'm one of these people that kind of say the things that you're talking about right now. I think a lot of us are trying to will that into existence because we think that the only way that the dev team is going to put some of these grinds into the game that aren't already planned is because they think it'll bring more people into the mode. So we're almost trying to like wish that into existence. I don't necessarily believe that, like you said, a moment's Jalen Brunson would bring anyone into the mode. I think the only way they could get some new people to actually pick up the game and jump into the mode is to put the game on sale. That's the only thing that's going to bring people in.
I think
Black Friday.
I think it's deeper than that. Like,
I'm gonna speak for. Oh, you can go.
I'm just say something real quick, and I'm gonna let you go. I think it's deeper than that to get people in the game. I think it starts with the community. If we just had a little bit more unity within this damn community, they would like make a game to where they're not. There's people out there air saying no, fix this, no, and then it's like now this group of people is unhappy and just complaining. I feel like if the community just for once, I'm not even because I know it's not gonna be all of us agreeing. Just for once, in which I hope this podcast does, just come together, then they would be able to make a game where it's like, it don't matter what point of the year it is, it still won't be a dead season. You know what I mean?
You know what? I was
That's
about
hard.
to disagree with you, but you actually just made a really good point. The thing I was going to disagree with is I don't think it, like, anyone who's picking up the game today is not looking at the toxicity on MyTeam Twitter. They're not experiencing it for months.
Yeah.
But actually, the point you made is right, because the pressure on the game. Let me give you one really simple example, right? You know, people tag 6-man Sam and things, right? We just use the word developers how many times, right? Developers don't make content. They build the content.
Yeah.
Producers make content. So the people that we attack half the time are not even the people making the decision of what's going to go into the game. And you make this, like, I've said this many times, right? I'm actually going to give some advice to every single content creator out there. And this is advice that has worked for me this week. This is some of the best advice you're ever going to hear, genuinely, if you're a content creator. Pick your language very, very carefully. There is phrases you can use, and there's phrases that when you try and get the moral high ground by saying something, you don't get it because of the way you said it. Let me give you the examples. Saying this is a bad game, I don't like the gameplay, I don't like mashing. All of those things are fine. Those are fine. You know, going back to the 2K shill thing, people have asked me, is the podcast going to change because I'm a next maker? They made me a next maker because of the podcast.
Yeah.
They're not sitting there going, I don't want to hear this. Why would they even engage with me if that was the case? Like, understand this. You can criticize the game. It's fine. As soon as you start criticizing 2K, as soon as those characters come out of your mouth, two things are going to happen. One, you're never going to have any engagement with them. That's a fact. Because you are attacking people. You're attacking the receptionist. You're attacking customer service. You're attacking every single person, family, people that work for this company that have nothing to do with the decision-making on packs or whatever it is that you've got an issue with. Like that week, they've got nothing to do with it. But the second thing is, just because you pressurize them into doing something doesn't mean it was a good thing that it happened. Like, understand that. We got moments this week. Great. If they were supposed to drop next week, 2K might have had a plan to do it in a more exciting way. Just because we pulled that timeline forward doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. And that's what you're saying, Josh. That pressure that comes from both sides continuously. People taking credit on both sides. This happened because I said something. This happened because I said something. How do you know that it's better than the alternative that was coming? You don't. 2K have just done that because you requested it and you kicked up a fuss and you threw a tantrum and you blocked creators and you tagged every developer who could do nothing about this on Twitter.
Bro,
Like,
I hate that so much, dog. When somebody be like ranting on the game and I'll get tagged 30. I'm like, bro, I don't work for 2K. I don't.
Also, like, keep me out of this, dude. You just said some personal stuff about like half the dev team. Like, don't tag me, untag me, please.
Yeah,
that's disrespect.
They already don't like me and lose with our pat luck, dog. I don't need worse pat luck, my guy. Like, I would like to be able to get a pink diamond again at some point. But yeah, like, that's one of the things I've tried to do lately on Twitter is just stop like ranting so much. Like, if you notice the Wildmont rant tweets have went down significantly as the years went on. Because it's like, I had to really sit there like, the game's really not going to change. It's not as bad as it could be. Do I wish some things would be a little different? Yeah, but at the same time, it's not. The biggest thing for me was I miss having consistent players to grind for. And I know the takeover cards, and I know, but I miss loading on, looking at Clutch Time Online. You see a random pink diamond there. And you go, okay, I'm at 50 wins. I can do 10 today, do 10 tomorrow, do 10 that day. With the trophy case thing, is like, okay, I got this photo exchange, but where do I get this exchange from? Where do I get that exchange from? Okay, I got this exchange. Okay, I need the centerpiece. Okay, I got to do that. So I don't think they should do away with the trophy cases, but I do think we need to get back some of those actual players, like seeing the players, or even if it's just like a random diamond that came in with Tumbo that nobody's ever going to use. I might use it. Lil Timmy might use it. CheapLudez loves using trash players. He might use
Absolutely.
it. So,
I'm number one trash fan.
I ran an E reset in limited this week to get those assists, and I had the time of my life. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, using random cards is so fun. Last year at the end of 2K22, I would literally let chat pick my entire lineup every single time, or I would just use theme teams, like a team of all mustache guys, all white dudes, doesn't matter, random names, like. And we couldn't dunk, so that was an issue. But we were out here playing scrappy defense, so it's fine. I agree with what Josh said, but the one thing I will say is even if the MyTeam community decided to open up the entire part of their hearts and we all just came together as one big family and demanded the same thing, it still wouldn't work because 2K has put themselves in kind of a rough position trying to balance a video game for 5v5 MyTeam play and 1v1 park play. So regardless, even if we all came together, the game is still going to be very difficult to balance. That's why now I know 2K watches this podcast. So I'm going to say it. You know what you should do? Everybody involved in the 2K process, make Park a free-to-play experience. That's what you should do. It would be so good.
We had a good run.
Agent
No,
Zero
I mean, I'm not even saying that.
Though.
Yeah, I'm not even saying HDB has been saying that. I'm not even saying it in like a negative.
I think it's where it will go. I think that is where it will go.
I think that's a wonderful idea, and I don't think that it's a bad thing at all. I think I might even play Park if it was a free-to-play download experience, honestly. But I don't play it now, and it's on the disc that I play every day, so maybe not actually.
For me, some of the things that like what you talking about, CheapLudez, when it comes to 5v5 versus 1v1, you can notice specific things that are meant for 5v5 and specific things that are meant for 1v1. Like for an example, rebounding. Rebounding looks like it'd be fine if you were doing 1v1. But I can't tell you how many times my player will literally get shoved halfway across the court and then the ball will just hit the ground and I'll get game rebound by 3 different dudes, even though I had them botched out. So I do think there's certain things that would work for 1v1 that don't exactly work for 5v5.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I think it's a thankless job from the dev team perspective too, because no matter what, the players who play either game mode are going to be upset at them, and they're trying. You know how difficult? I don't think people understand how difficult it is to try to balance a game for 2 completely different modes that are radically different. Like, imagine if you would just. I couldn't do that on my own channel. Like, if I tried to do like Park content and MyTeam content at the same time, I would lose my mind, and I'm not crafting a whole world out there.
The community's unrealistic. Like you just said, trying to make a game for 2 different styles of play is hard. And like, I feel like the community could be very unrealistic at times. And I catch myself doing it too. But then, like you said, you really have to really take a step back and think about it. Like, I just thought about that. Like, oh shoot, the 1v1 game mode. Like when you play one game mode so much, you get wrapped up in that game mode only. And like the requests people from MyTeam are asking literally would affect the whole.
Yeah, it would break apart.
People don't realize what they're asking for, the implications of it. Go ahead, Matt. What were you going to say?
I was basically just wanted to say that I'm having the best fun with TTO co-op, which is a mix between Park and a mix between MyTeam. It's really the most fun game. Matter of fact, when y'all came in to my stream, not promoting, but when you came to my stream, it was so fun, and I wish y'all would have joined with me if I didn't have T's in transition.
You were already playing with the homies, though, so it doesn't really matter.
We could have played y'all. We could have loaded up against y'all.
I would have loved that. You know what I'm saying? It would have been fun. At the end of the day, that is a great experience. I think what they're doing is a huge dub, and I'm not just saying this. I of course I could be pro 2K all day, but there's one thing for certain, and I really mean this from my heart of hearts. I feel that 2K is really tried to make a great game. They've really tried.
Oh yeah, they definitely put. Yeah,
they put effort into it.
I definitely see the effort.
Yeah, that's the thing I've like come to realize too. I've like backed off on calling the game horrible because it is in its base. The game is not a bad game. One is how 2K players play. They play toxically, like I say it all the time. If you play 2K like a basketball game and not like a race car simulator, it'd be a different experience. That's why when you actually use like basketball things, when you run zone, when you run pick and rolls, when you run off ball screens, when you send cutters, the game is more enjoyable than, hey, I'm going to hold R2 down and I'm going to run straight to the basket because this is a race car simulator. So they've built a really good basketball game. And 2, they're trying. Like they're trying.
Yeah, it's what Josh said. People ask for things, and sometimes they get it, and they realize that's not what they wanted. People just need to think a little bit harder. I want to touch on what Matt said really quickly about co-op because I played it for the first time yesterday. Me Josh, and 2K Kiwi jumped on. We had on an American server a British guy, and someone in New Zealand. It was like a server disaster. And I'm just sprinting up the court on every possession, screaming I'm open, whether I am or I'm not. And posting up every single we were like dying with laughter. I had not had
this guy Jazz, right? This one play said, I want to get a dunk on, I want to dunk on somebody for the last play. So he has the open lane, but because no one is under the basket, He doesn't go up with it. I'm like, Jazz, what are you doing? So he goes up and then misses it and then gets it back and then makes a layup. I'm like, bro. I said, next time just dunk it. Like, you're right there. What the heck?
I mean, I was wide open, like under the basket.
No one in the way.
I want to post the Curry.
I hope 2K adds cross-gen co-op because I want to play with Luz. Like, I would love to play with me and Luz would be sitting there just like yelling at each other the whole time and talking about how terrible it is.
I'm not buying a PlayStation. You know what I mean?
Bro, wait, God of War come out in 2 weeks, dog. I mean, y'all ain't gonna see me for 2 weeks, dog. I'm gonna be Kratos for a week. I'm gonna come out with the face paint on, like the axe and everything.
I'm rocking COD right now.
I've heard COD come out. I've heard it's unoptimized. Like, people have been angry about COD. They were like, "This is the worst."
People take Call of Duty so serious, though. I mean, like the first 3 days of a Call of Duty launch is always a disaster, and people just freak out every single time. It's always the same.
Call of Duty
if you think the
load up is crazy right now, guys.
If you think the MyTeam community is bad, the COD community is crazy, dog. Like they have civil wars every single, and like not even just that. Like if you go on COD Twitter, they have civil wars like every single day. Creators, normal players, like the
game chat alone is toxic.
Bro, the COD devs be out here bullying them. Like they be arguing with content creators. Them dudes be on timing, bro.
Dudes had to like they hear me talk. Like when I was young, I remember the first time ever playing Call of Duty. Dude heard the.
I don't like where this is going.
Voice.
Yeah, I don't like where this is going.
You don't need that yellow demonetized sign.
No, please.
Hey,
I just all I can say what was said to me. I was like, and honestly, I genuinely laughed. I was like, wow.
Oh no, I've been calling some crazy shit on 2K though. Like I've been calling some. I used to post it on Twitter last year.
Yeah,
I've been calling.
He used to send them to me first. Like, you think I could post this? I don't know, dog. Maybe,
bro. Like
not.
I'm talking about like crazy. Like it's some stuff I never heard before. I was getting called stuff I didn't even know it existed. I had to go and look it up. Literally, me and Lou sat there for like an hour trying to figure out what slur he called me. I was like, where is this from, dog?
Yeah, my man had advanced level racism for sure. It was pretty wild. Like he went to racism college.
Yeah, he had Hall of Fame advanced ignorance.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
That's the stuff that, you know.
I want to say one thing real quick. I know this, going back to the co-op thing. I feel, and I'm gonna be flat out honest. I wouldn't have played co-op, okay, if it wasn't for that centerpiece. I'm gonna be honest. If it wasn't for the 51, I wouldn't have known about. I wouldn't have played it because I played one game last season, which was for that XP. If you remember, it was tied to XP. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't feeling it. But now playing these games with my friends, with my people, with my homies, it is fun. It is fun. And then you have the AI that it's I'm not gonna lie to you. You talked about comp earlier. You know what's comp in this game is the AI. That's serious.
Tone it down.
You cannot bring Jimmy Butler or any Opal or anybody, Pink Diamond, up against the AI because they got half glove, half clamps. I'll whoop your butt. But anyways, co-op is amazing, man. And I think it's another major dub within 2K.
I love
Can I
that.
can I touch on that real quick?
Yeah, I think we're about to say the same thing.
Anybody wants casuals back on the game?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're saying right now, moments, whatever you think is going to get casuals back on the game, please, if that's actually what you're concerned about, switch the conversation to CPU difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that is the thing that is driving casuals.
That's why I was raging.
I cannot understand anything outside of that right now.
That's why I was tweaking on Twitter about the all-star difficulty for the moments challenges. I was like, dude, a regular person who just wants to play this game for fun is not surviving in the all-star. Yeah, it's not surviving in the all-star streets. Like, it's not happening.
I want to say something to 2K real quick. Like, now that I know you guys watch this, please give Patrick Ewing a normal release. Please give him a normal.
Bro, they do Patrick Ewing so dirty every year, bro.
Please, like, I'm not even asking to soup him. Like, just please give him. Like, there's no reason he's the only person in the game with a slow release. That is so crazy. Like, come on, y'all gave me Brunson. Y'all gave me Barrett. Y'all gave Randall a Amethyst.
Randall
Hook up my boy.
He can have a real release when Ostertag gets a PD. That's how I feel about it.
Oh no, you were ungrateful. I'm grateful.
Ewing is my last Opal I'm going for. I'm going for Gilbert Arenas next, because I heard Ewing was kind of mid.
That's crazy.
What about Josh Fields? You
need
that Josh Fields card.
You're going to have to worry about that locker room, though, because I heard how Arenas get.
Yeah.
He has some gambling debts, but it's okay. You just got the right coach in there. It's all good.
I thought the other dude owed Arenas money, not the other way around. I'm pretty sure the other dude.
It depends who you ask.
And then Arenas like smacked him, and then dude went to his car and was like, "Hey, you know what? Stay in the locker room." Imagine walking past like 50 people. Yeah, what's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up? Well, get over there.
I remember Raymond Felton had got in trouble with the law, and they was calling him Raymond Felon. That was funny.
See, that's trash right there. But speaking of trash, let's talk about the Lakers real quick. So
don't say anything about Westbrook. I will leave. You say anything.
He is number one Westbrook truther.
Hey, Westbrook is. I mean, you can't blame Westbrook for all of their problems. You can blame him for 85% of them, but you can't blame him for all. They might trade AD, y'all.
That team was poorly.
AD is there. If they trade AD. Who's going to play defense? AD be out there 1v5 on defense, bro. Bro, they have a top defense right now currently. Like I think they have a top 7 defense. You know what it is? And that's mostly because of AD.
They need shooters because like
you know who they can trade for?
Defensively, they're good.
Buddy Hield.
You know
they're good. They're good defensive. They're a good defensive team. I'm not gonna lie. They're good.
The funniest thing about that, Buddy Hield shooting 42% for 3 this year. Miles Turner is shooting like 35%, and all they had to do was throw in that second first round pick that's going to be in 12 years from now. They could have got off of Westbrook, and Westbrook would have been out of the league. And I ain't gonna have. I mean, we still would be flaming Ben Simmons, but at the same time,
Ben Simmons, that's another thing.
I'm scared for Ben.
No, I'm not scared for him. The Nets, bro. Let me go with the fan base. You guys said because I'm a Knicks fan, so I'll take it very personal when they try they got hype about the KD Kyrie.
Come on,
you guys had Harden, Kyrie, KD, couldn't get it done. I told you I wouldn't get it done. Why? Injuries, and it happened. You said you get Ben, a healthy Ben. Oh, we're going to the finals. Kyrie and KD dropped like 38 the other night. And because Ben Simmons wanted to be Draymond and get a triple single, they lost. Bro, Ben is not the answer. Ben is not the answer. The Knicks are better than the Nets.
You support a team that paid Julius Randle like $35 million a year. I don't think you really want to talk about smart financial decisions.
Julius Randle put up all NBA numbers. When he showed up in the playoffs or not?
He put up all trash can numbers last year.
He didn't put up trash can numbers. He just played.
He just played like a trash can. My bad. He put up good numbers, but he played like a
Trae Young disappeared in the playoffs.
We got to the playoffs.
He disappeared.
We got to the playoffs.
Y'all not getting to the playoffs this year. Y'all gonna be a playing team.
You guys are arguing about the two most overrated teams in the entire
You're a Bulls fan. You're
Pistons on top.
Hold up,
bro. Pistons on top. I've been saying.
We beat y'all by 25 last night. We put a stumping on them boys, bro. We had Kate.
We're not even overrated though. We just suck. Like we just bad.
No.
Every Bulls fan is so pessimistic.
I got Caruso and
you weren't talking to real Bulls fans.
Gonna be a top team. No, they were gassing.
If you were talking to a real Bulls fan, they would have tell you we're gonna fall apart.
They're pessimistic.
That's real Bulls fan stuff.
The funniest thing about the Bulls is they traded Wendell Carter Jr. for Vucevic, and then Wendell Carter Jr. just turned into a god. Like he just turned into a great.
He was hooping because when we played the Magic.
Yeah,
he was hitting threes. I didn't even know this dude could shoot.
And that's not even the worst part. They used that first round pick to pick up Franz Wagner, wherever his name is. So that's two really good starting. Yeah.
Speaking of which, both of those guys are so. All right, so I am a Wendell Carter Jr. truther in my team. Last year, I thought he was one of the most underrated players in the entire game mode.
As a power forward,
yeah, the power forward
card, yes.
He was one of the most underrated cards in the entire game mode. So I guess what I wanted to ask is, what's an underrated card, not like a random dude from history, but just like in the NBA right now that you think will be so much better than everyone else realizes when they come to my team this year? My personal thought, Wendell will be incredible this year because we need a floor stretching defensive big man, and he's really good doing that this year.
I think Hartenstein, if Hartenstein gets a good card.
Hartenstein?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
It's a 6'9" point guard on the Oklahoma City Thunder. His name's like Vet Krejcik or something. If he ever gets a decent card in my team, it's over with. I just don't think 2K is going to give him one because he's probably not going to be in the league.
Or Quentin Grimes, if he gets a good
we don't
card.
care about that nigga.
I think
he had a good Ruby last year. Quentin was nice.
I think
what
Quentin
about you,
Grimes,
Matt?
6'5".
What's the dude from Memphis? They call him like the Baby Shaq or whatever. I can't think of his name.
Oh, the bowling ball dude.
Him.
Nah, legit, he plays like a bowling ball. He legit just bounces into dudes and like he legit plays like a bowling ball. I think he played
Drew.
What's his name?
Yeah, he hurt
Drew
Chet in the
Holiday's
summer
gonna be a
league.
good guard.
Yeah, he hurt Chet in the summer league because he like legit just bowled him and dunked on top of his head.
Nah, Drew Holiday when he gets a card is gonna be good.
Kenneth Lofton Jr. That's him.
I use his Emerald. Drew Holiday's release is stupid.
Yeah, Drew's
quick.
always nice.
It's stupid. No, like, but they changed the jump shot from previous. It's mad
Yeah,
quick.
Drew's
You know
early
he's gonna have
cards are
good
always
defense.
cracked. Like
I
his
think he's gonna
early
have a
cards-
good
I
interior.
mean, Jared Allen is usually a monster when he gets a card. The problem is he only gets cards towards the end of the year that are solid. But whenever he gets a card, he like rebounds, he blocks shots, and then his airflow gives him like 3 other inches in height because of the fact that 2K,
And then that
2K
Winston-
can't figure out physics.
That
Player
Winston
build.
is crazy.
Guys,
So-
Hey.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. The podcast ended 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
for real?
And it hasn't ended, but time-wise it ended. We haven't covered the content at all. Like we haven't spoken about Halloween cards or
Y'all trying to go for
or
another hour?
glitch cards or
let's
any of
go.
that. Matt, can you just give us a run through of the content this week, like the pack content, because you're that guy.
Okay, so
Um,
let me break it down to you. Okay, with the Halloween packs. All right, I will say this, and this is just my opinion. I really felt like it was a dub. A lot of people expected Giannis, but LeBron is. I mean, he's one of the biggest names you can have. Ron Artest, if you pink diamond that is, or even
Big
the
dubs.
diamond is
Big
so good. He's great defensively. His shot is chicken. John Wall's shot is unbelievable. I'm loving it right now. But the best card, I think the best card out the set, guys, is my guy, the Caruso. Alex Caruso.
I'm trying to get him.
card.
Yes, because I looked at. I'm
He's
pairing.
good.
I'm thinking about pairing him with Lance. I'm not gonna lie.
Telling
They
you,
got good
and you love
defense.
Lance.
And I looked at Alex Caruso's tendencies. He has half glove with a 90 on ball steal tendency.
Oh yeah, he's
So
ripping.
you would
dudes
be
who tired.
crazy not to run him.
Yeah,
You would be
Exactly.
crazy not
He
to
doesn't
run him.
move. I've
No,
literally
he
used
has
it
no.
yesterday.
Actually,
does
people
not
say he
move.
has a good dribble style because he has the Jordan dribble.
I
style.
mean,
That's
just
what I'm
run a
hearing.
good shooting
He
guard
does
though.
not
So
That's what I'm saying.
Run a
Like,
good
look,
shooting.
Lance. That's what I'm saying. Lance and Caruso, because I run my offense through Lance. I pair them together.
yeah,
Hell
you.
backcourt.
But the thing I love about about really good on ball steals this year, if you're tired, you're getting ripped, dog. Like if you, so
Mhm.
I love that about squares. About dudes who spam dribble moves. I'm gonna let you dribble your life out. The moment you let your players run the whole half and he gets tired, you're gonna get ripped every single possession, whether or not you want to, whether or not you like it. So I love that about 2K is that they finally
Yes.
stopped dudes from just spamming dribble moves while they were tired because of badges. If you dribble like Kawhi, if you dribble in front of Kawhi while you're tired, he's just go pluck it every single time. So
I
I
agree.
love that.
Wait,
I want to
didn't
say
he
this
get
real quick
MPJ?
with the adrenaline boost, like just to allude with what Wildmont said. Once those go down, it's a wrap. Okay.
Yeah.
And also with the pump fakes. Okay. You see people out here pumping and pumping and pumping. That takes a little bit of that
And
stamina.
you getting ripped as soon as you go up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait.
And I want to, one more thing, and I'm up out. The biggest thing, and a lot of y'all don't know if you have Jimmy Butler or not. I have Jimmy Butler. Okay.
Yeah, I
The
got
Jazz
This
has him.
man, his stamina, he gets gas quick. Stamina is one of the most OP boosts this year. I'm gonna tell you, if they have low stamina, they gas quick.
I literally don't dribble with Jimmy for that reason.
Yeah.
He's never
Question.
been, not even for one possession in my profile.
MPJ
Right.
came out this week, right on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly.
People don't like his jump shot because it does have like a
He's
little
solid.
load up.
He's
I
good.
love that card. Like you run him. Most people run him at the 3. At the 4, he hoops. I'm not gonna lie,
Another-
he plays the 4 really well.
Another
6'10",
great
small
thing
forward.
I love that 2K's been doing this year is Evos because they kind of forgot about them last year, bro. The fact that like players have a way to make MT every single week because if you have the time, Evo those cards. Like I said before this week, if we as a community could come together, y'all can literally just roll the ball to each other 40 times and get the steals done like it's nothing, dog. So
Yeah.
load up in triple threat. But Evos, I love it because you have one way to get MT. 2, they're only 7K MT. So if you buy them for 7K, you essentially get a free diamond card who's going to be good. Ingles is good. Dragic is good. And I forget the other one that they dropped. But he's
Evan Fournier.
Fournier. All 3 of those cards are good. So Evos have probably been my biggest dub this year. Like, because I like Evo in cards. I think that's something 2K forgot about. But 2, I love the fact that you have consistently a way to make MT and a way to improve your team
you're
that
100%
isn't too
right.
crazy.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to talk on behalf of the rest of the community. I'm going to do exactly what I said not to do earlier, but I'm going to do it anyway for a selfish reason. 2K, please stop putting steals as Evo agendas. I can't watch another stream of someone trying to get steals. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm-
please.
I
stop.
have to hop to current every time. I'm telling you, next gen is impossible to steal sometimes. I mean, I know DBG's posted videos about the steals and whatnot and pictures on Twitter. He's right. It's too OP for next gen. I have to go straight to current for the steals. Also, I want to say this about Evos real quick. in the community, there's a lot of people that can't afford 15,000 VC.
Yeah.
I am pretty positive they're going to have a lock-in. It could be a glitch Terry DeShinger, glitch Bobo. I don't know, whatever the lock-in.
That was one of the topics we had for last week that we didn't cover. That are they
going to be original owner though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Next, the original owner, so everybody can lock in.
Yeah,
I mean, let's
just
face it.
I would go for it. I wouldn't mind grinding some Evos,
especially with the Evos being as ridiculous as they are. It doesn't really make sense for them to be original owners at this point.
Very least.
But I think as a company, they've said that there's like the thing they're going to do is they're going to have every single pack drop have at least one 15K player, and so I guess from a money standpoint, from like a company standpoint, I understand it, but definitely they need to nix the original owner. But
original owner, it's too deep. It's a lot right there because again, you have kids out here playing this game that are real legit grinders, more than us guys, and they don't got the 15K VC. They're gonna ask their mom and daddy for 15K. I'm like, what? I don't got that, you know. So they have to just for the sake of that. I know they're trying to make their bread. They're gonna make their money anyway. But at the end of the day, take that original owner off, man, because a lot of people, man, they just don't have it. And not every week.
What about Hakeem? Yeah, how do y'all feel about Hakeem?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Best center.
Did y'all play again? He's
the first card that's making me think about spending. One, he's one of my two favorite players ever, IRL. And,
I put blinders on him.
The card just looks like exactly what my team.
His jump shot looks good too. His jump shot looks good this year. Because I know, I think it was 21. Jump shot was horrible.
Yeah, I want to get him. I get him every single year, and this is probably the first year I haven't gotten in the first week, so I definitely plan on getting him. But speaking on the steals, I'm telling you, as a community, if anybody's watching this, load up into Triple Threat online. Online. Listen, have your mic ready. If you load up against somebody who's also doing Evos, literally just roll the ball to each other until you get 40 steals. I'm telling, it's that simple. Like people be freaking out about it, and I tell everybody this, and it worked because I did it on Tuesday night. I literally I loaded up one dude, he didn't want to help. Loaded up another, he didn't want to help. I loaded up with a little kid. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get." I was like, "Hey, we're just gonna roll the ball to each other and call it a day." And that's exactly what we did.
Crazy
question. Can't you do that on co-op though?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't count on co-op.
Yeah,
so you have to load up but like as a community, it's those little things to where I sometimes feel like 2K be playing with us because they be trying to see how toxic we are. Because if you think about it, you can go, well, if we all just loaded up in Triple Threat online and rolled the ball to each other, we can get it done. But you have too many dudes online who are like, I'm trying to win this game no matter what.
They're trying to get the centerpiece.
You the win, just help me get my skills.
I don't care about the win.
I be telling dudes that. Like, I remember some dude, like, he got me so mad. Like, first of all, I'm trying to do the roll glitch, and I'm doing it the way he told me, and I'm doing it the way I know. Sometimes they're throwing it past, or like he's not getting it still in time, and I can hear him getting frustrated. I'm like, bro, look, I'm doing you a favor. There's no rush. Like, what are you rushing for? You're gonna get your steals. And they got to the point where it's like, he got his 9 steals. He needed one more. I said, nah, F this, bro. I shot it and won the game. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, not go get the steals for myself, bro.
That's toxic.
Because like, no, he's getting. How you getting frustrated with me? I'm trying to help you. I'm pressing the button. Like, what do you want me to do, bro? There's no rush. You're gonna get your steals.
It's always little things like that with the community. Because like last year, I think there was a requirement where you had to hit like 100 threes and unlimited or something. And I'm like, y'all can do this if y'all just let each other do it. Like you don't have to be you don't have to be a sweat every single game, bro. Like load up in a Triple Threat and just roll the ball, dog. It ain't that hard of a thing. And I guess because I'm now an old head to where I don't really care about wins and stuff. Like if I get on the game and it's like a kid, he's like, "Hey, bro, can you?"
How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Okay, on that note, right? Listen.
No. Look, I understand though, because like 22 in 2K years is like 42 in real life.
I've been playing 2K since
I'm gone.
Bro, I've been playing
dudes really be calling me old head. Like in my chat, they call me. They say I'm 35. I'm like, bro, I'm 22. Like, bro, like, what are you talking?
About? It's the opposite problem for me. People are like, yo, how old are you? Like 21. I'm like, dude, I'm 30, bro.
No, you look 30,
bro. Nah. I mean, like,
bro. Let me not of a 30-year-old, I guess.
I just want to put this on screen. I just want to put this on screen, y'all. This is how long I've been playing 2K. Right,
the second one.
See this right
here. I'm gonna wrap. I want to do a quick thing really quickly before I wrap. Right, I've got a few frequently asked questions on the podcast. If any of you guys know anything, I want to answer all of them on this. One of the questions is, how do I get the guests? The answer is through annoying persistence. There is no other. I would just DM people until they come on. A lot of people I've made friends with over the years. Obviously, they're more happy to come on, but we've got people coming up, who I just build relationships with over a period of time, and they come on the podcast. The second thing is just recommendations. Like, there's people get shouted out to me all the time. I'll hit people up. Why do I run one camera? 2 hours is a long time, guys. If I had everyone on screen for the entire podcast, it would be quite stressful experience for the people on the podcast. People need to step away and do other things. Are you going to say something, Lutz?
Yeah, I quite enjoy this change that you've made.
Yeah, it's good. Next question is there going to be a second one weekly? Hell no. This takes a long time to put together. Maybe in the future, we're actually talking about doing some other stuff on Josh and Luz's channels. Maybe we do some other collab type stuff on their channels as well. So that'll be coming. This is a question I really want to answer. Why don't I balance out the conversation more? We've had people question, like, why people dominate, certain podcasts. There's a couple of reasons. One, we just let it fly. People come on, be themselves. If people are quiet, it could be a few reasons. One of those reasons could be because they don't really want to talk that much, and we're completely fine with that.
What do they want you to do? They want you to pull up and be like, "Yo, shut up, Wildmont." Like, what do they
I didn't even talk that much this time. It was Josh, bro. I didn't even get on the beans. I didn't even talk about none of the rest of the stuff. I tried to talk about hot wings and how you guys are eating them wrong, but y'all didn't want to talk about it.
Pepper wet.
Dude, I eat chicken nuggets. I don't even eat hot wings, so it's like
real
whatever.
men
I can't even
bone
join.
in, okay? When you get a
Say that.
wing,
Wait. Say real men eat what?
Bone in.
Don't say that
in
again.
Bro,
That-
I go out and
Oh my
Out of
God.
context, we just got demonetized. Right. Next
We'll
question.
start.
When will the podcast be available on Spotify, iTunes, etc.? So I'm waiting on something to happen quite big before we get to that point. It will be by probably the end of this year. So hang tight. Are Josh and Luz... Guys, if one more person asked me saying Josh and Luz should be permanent, bro...
I've been on every episode except one. Josh has been on every episode except the time he was out of town. I don't know what more to say at this point.
They are permanent. Next question. Is the podcast live? No, this is a premiere you're watching right now. It's Saturday. We're recording. It drops on Sunday. And the last question is just, what about me? Am I going to do more of my own content again? No. I love doing this. I love talking to the community. I think this is a really good thing for the community. I think we keep doing this and put all our
It's a
energy into
dub.
this. Yeah,
I seen some people try to rip y'all off and then they just quit after like a week.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna be the one to say.
Hey,
Forget Shane, he threw the whole damn tree.
Hey, look,
Forget Shane, just threw the whole damn tree.
bro. I was scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, they got a podcast specifically for MyTeam, and that's the name. I was like, okay, we'll see how long it. Oh yeah, the podcast won't be coming out this week. We had to take. I'm like, okay, you guys. I think a lot of people underrate how hard it is to make content. Like,
We'll
that's
see
one
if
of the-
this ends up in the premiere.
Hey, look, I'm just
I
saying.
can't wait to see this in the premiere.
I
Do
think
you want me to talk about it?
We can
No,
talk about it
no,
if you
no,
want. I don't mind.
But I wanted to just
I
say
will.
this.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people underrate how hard it is to make content. That's the biggest thing. Because to get 5 dudes together on a random Saturday and nothing goes wrong for 2 hours is a hard thing. Then you have to edit it. Then you have to post it. Then you have to hope nothing goes wrong on the YouTube side because YouTube is weird sometimes and it just happens like that.
I mean,
So-
it does. I've already caused issues a couple
Yeah.
times.
So yeah, you can literally bro. I can
Just
have
once.
a random. I can have a random object in my background that YouTube would demonetize because it looks like something else, bro. So I was like, that's just a shout out to y'all because I think a lot of people underrate how hard it is to run stuff like this because they haven't done it, so it looks easy, and they're like, oh yeah, it's just they just get those guys and they talk to them because they're friends. Like, no, you have to get these people together, bro, and stuff goes.
I'll talk about it real quick. Right? I wasn't going to ever talk about this, but I'll talk about it real quick. I know it got toxic. I know Matt was nodding, so I'm just going to say it. Like, this is what it is. It's what it is.
No,
Right.
go ahead.
I'm fine with it at this point. Like, if people want to do other things, I did this podcast. People don't realize this a couple of years ago. Me, Josh, and Jaquel, notorious guy.
Shout out to Jaquel, man. the
Yeah,
OG.
shout out to that guy. The same thing happened then. 3-4 weeks into it, we got a bit of momentum, and other creators started setting up podcasts. And in a lot of ways, they cannibalized what we were doing because we were literally nobodies at the time. I think what we built now, like in terms of me feeling threatened, I just don't, guys. Like, we have incredible chemistry. I'm so blessed to have the people around me, the people that are watching this. I just don't think we can really be touched. It's kind of partly what Wildmont said as well. It is a lot of work to put podcasts together. It's not something you can just throw together. But actually, I would enjoy watching this podcast, and that's really my goal each
Yeah.
week. I want to put together something that I would enjoy watching, and it takes a lot of work. It does take work to keep the conversation going. It does take work to balance things out. I've had 2 guest changes just this week that I've had to react to on a whim. It's not
3
easy.
technically.
Yeah, that's true. It's not easy, but all we can do is put out the best product for you guys that we can. If you enjoy it, that's great. That's all.
I mean,
And you have.
I've
Jazz.
had
Shout out
people.
to Matt, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
for
like their
real.
content. When Luz speaks very highly of you, I will keep saying
That-
that.
Oh, yeah, you gotta-
That's a blessing, man.
And lived up to everything. Like when I watched, like that was my first time in your stream. Immaculate vibes, and I'm not gonna lie, I love your whole overlay with the dark matter. I think that is so dope.
Hey,
I'm not gonna
wait
lie, that is
until-
so
I
dope.
can't take credit for that, man. I
Wait
cannot
until
take
he-
credit.
Wait until he hit you with the hell no. He hitting you with that every time I come in there.
Yeah, he
with
got the
random
little
stuff.
sounds. And stuff. Wait, hold on.
So-
But you got the thing about Matt is Matt never gets angry, dog. Like me and Lutz get angry on stream.
Oh,
Like, I will
yeah.
literally
Oh, yeah.
me and Lutz are going to a tirade for a good 5-10 minutes where people like if people be angry, like people don't need they be laughing because they're like, wow, what bro, this is hilarious. But I be like legitimately
Yeah,
angry.
I'm like really angry.
That man
though.
Matt will be getting flooded by 30 and like, well, just be like that sometimes, you guys, man. We're getting back
I wish
that
I could
I'm
be
like,
like that,
Exactly.
man. Nah, I get so mad in these
Josh, you
tournament
listening?
games. Like the way dudes, one thing I absolutely hate is you can effectively rim run, but if you just literally put your head down, no matter like a wall of the Great Wall of China's in front of you, and if you just run at me every time, that
Yeah, bro.
literally hits. It's like
Bro.
you're dancing on a specific nerve, bro.
Bro, you saw the video with Splash. Shout out to him, man, where he literally closed his freaking eyes.
Yeah, that was video of the year.
Unbelievable, and scored that. That says all you need to know. But I want to say this to each and every one of you sipping here. I am very grateful, and when I mean it, grateful to be on this podcast. Each and every one of you are dub, and I definitely respect each and every one of you. Ludes, bro. Thank you for
Yeah,
that,
no
man.
problem.
That right there, I mean that humbly. But as for being mad in stream, sometimes listen, I'll be tight.
Nah,
I be tight.
Let me
I
circle
let it
back
flow.
here.
You're better than me because I will let it flow. Like if I'm angry,
said let it
it's
flow.
game
Wait,
trash.
hold on.
you trash.
The annual. Look, this shows you all you
Oh,
need.
yeah,
to
the-
know.
the
I ain't
weekly-
never-
Oh.
Bigger,
Gotta
even
take-
more. How did it get bigger now?
Nah, I
Also,
didn't get
you're-
bigger the last time. I swear to you, I don't.
You're-
I think he's
touch
zooming
it.
in on it. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
okay.
Guys, have you had fun?
Let me circle back really fast on the podcast thing, just
Yeah.
because people do like to clip things and take things out of context real quick. So just to talk, I get messages all the time, usually like chats like, oh, there's other podcasts now, like what's up with that, are you mad? No, dude, we don't own the MyTeam
My
podcast
Team, yeah.
space. Like I can't go and seek restitution from somebody who wants to go do a podcast with their friends. I don't care. None of us care. It's totally fine. Like I might make a joke about it here and there because it's funny, but like at the end of the day, if you want to start a MyTeam podcast, please go right ahead. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm not
So-
going to hate anybody who starts a podcast. I don't care. Jazz doesn't care. Josh doesn't care. It's all good. It's not really that big of a deal. Like I understand people really want to have some MyTeam level rap beef. Like they want some AMP versus like, Pretty Boy Fredo beef going on in the MyTeam community, but it's not accurate.
I mean,
So, you know what I mean?
I personally would like to go to war with some of the comp players. I'm not.
I
gonna
do
lie,
have
those-
bars for sure.
Yeah, I'll definitely go to war
Obviously.
with some of the comp players.
Guys,
'cause-
I'm gonna wrap it. Like we've been going way too long.
Oh man.
I'll drag it. Ludes, that was on the money. I 100% agree with everything you just said. Like we're here for this. This is what we're here for. Outside of this, good luck to all of you. If everyone in the Premier wants to start a podcast tomorrow, you got my blessing. I'm available to come on it if you want me to. Other than that, have you guys had fun? It's been a good week.
A lot of fun, man.
Yes,
Amazing.
always.
A lot of fun.
It's been a great run this week. I think it's been a good conversation, and we've definitely broken the record again, which we seem to do each week on time. But it's been a W conversation. We'll be back again next week. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Woo.